Live?
We live.
Okay, we're live. Let's
Phones on silento.
say goodbye to fucking Monster Cody or whoever the hell you're checking in with over here.
No, it wasn't none of the homies there.
Hey, we're live. He's in his own little crip world. Big house phone. Big house phone. So you guys might be noticing house phone has gotten a little bit bigger.
Just a bit.
We juiced him up a little bit. We inflated him. We made him taller.
That's how we started the last podcast with 80. We called him an elephant, so I don't think that's how we should start.
Oh, yeah, and then he acted like a victim the whole fucking time.
I did.
Even though he is the one who made us a half hour late. What were you doing? Were you fucking in a drive-by? You're always on some fuck shit.
I was in the city, and then somebody put the 5 on fire.
Right.
No way. I drove through the 5 too.
There's some smoke on the 5 right now.
God damn.
There's a big fire in the middle of the fucking freeway.
Not
or
in
what?
the middle, but like on the side. That's like it was just crazy traffic and shit.
People will slow down a lot whenever there's a fire or anything to look at on the side of the road. It drives me crazy.
It's hard not to because just because everyone's slowing down, then you kind of slow down and look.
Right.
And you're like, well, fuck, I'm adding to this stupid ass problem.
But the worst feeling on earth is when you get to the end of the traffic and you realize the accident's on the other side, and the only reason why there's traffic is because everybody starts slowing down
and staring.
Yeah, just because they're rubbernecking.
Yep.
Do they say rubberneck out here?
That's the term, rubbernecking.
I think so.
Rubberneck works out here because that's big where I'm from.
Yeah, I think that's a term. I just haven't heard it in a while.
Where I'm from is the home of the rubberneckers.
Really?
That got a little dicey. It's episode number 49, which means we are one episode away from the Virgil episodes, which I'm extremely excited about. Everybody make some noise for episode 49.
Episode 49.
I don't know if
Virgil -1.
I've ever done an applause like that or like a standing ovation, seated ovation, etc. But people at home will be noticing that Lil Ketamine is not here today. Mm-hmm. He's dealing with some family issues, and so we've hollered at
house phone.
We've hollered at the biggest G that we know to come and fill in for.
Whole house phone is watching Black Panther.
Yeah, I mean, but you had a girl in here the other day, and she said she hasn't seen it.
Yes, that was crazy.
Oh my God, the fact that she also hadn't seen it.
Two black people did not see Black Panther. I'm disgusted.
Would
you
it
should have
offend
a Black Panther like viewing party.
We should do that
for the 18 black people who haven't seen it yet.
Yes, it's like I'm like, wow,
dude. The crowd at that would be so fucking funny because it would just be like anybody who wasn't in on any of the shit. Like everyone was talking about on Twitter at the time that every fucking video was about for a while. It would be like a land of people who were just sort of like cut off from society. Probably a lot of people who were in jail at the time. Mm-hmm. That would make sense.
Yes.
What else? Like that's the question for somebody who hasn't seen Black Panther. Is like, what were you doing that weekend? Or
I don't know. You went to go see it?
Or exactly. Or the next few weekends after. I didn't go the weekend it opened because I knew it was going to be crazy. But I mean, I saw it within a few weeks. It's just like there's certain things. It's like the Joe Exotic thing.
I like the Joe Exotic shit.
But if you didn't see that.
It's like what have you been doing with your life?
Are you just that comfortable with missing out on what everyone is talking about?
I mean, I can see the Tiger King because it took me a little while to like be like, I want to watch this. When I seen the trailer, it was like, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. But then my homie was like, hey, this shit is lit. I was like, oh, I gotta watch it then.
But Tiger King for us whites is pretty much like Black Panther for y'all.
No, it's not.
No,
it is not. Why would you even say that?
Listen, if
that's what you stand behind.
Stupid.
Yes,
no, it is not.
Giant cats. Methamphetamines, gay sex. These are basically the tenets of white supremacy.
No, bro. We don't have a lot of black superheroes. You feel me?
No, that
Joe Exotic.
But we didn't either. And then we got Joe Exotic.
I think every superhero is white, pretty much.
A large percentage. What about Storm? If you want to make a good movie about a person of color superhero, boom, throw Storm in the mix.
We got Storm. We got Black Panther. We got Blade. We got Miles Morales now, the black and Hispanic Spider-Man, which is dope.
I'm almost completely cut off from superhero movies. Black Panther is like one of the only ones I've ever seen in recent years. I usually would end up hitting the Batman ones, but I'm totally cut off from the Marvel world. I thought you watched
Joker. Isn't that Marvel?
No, it's Batman universe.
That's DC. But Joker was amazing though.
I was always a DC guy, even as a kid. I don't know. I mean, I liked Spider-Man. I liked X-Men, but I was Superman, Batman. That just really...
You see, I got a Joker tatted on my arm.
That's all I need.
On my hand, I mean.
Which one? You got Heath Ledger on your hand?
Yeah, Heath Ledger. That's the best one ever.
That's lit. That's how you knew that you were supposed to be a poker player because you fuck with the Joker card, bro.
I mean, I guess. I tried to learn poker from you and Josh, and
I'm going to keep working on it with you.
I just want to win one of the tournaments and retire.
Retire? Good luck. You got to get really, really good if you want to win a whole
I just want to win like an $80,000 tournament. Just get on after that.
I told him that I almost won a tournament that was 80,000 for first place, and he's been geeked ever since.
That's it. That's all I want to do.
What about the times when like you would have to play like 4 tournaments at once and like piss in a jar?
I play 12
You still do that?
usually whenever possible. Yeah, 12
You still
at a
piss
time.
in jars?
No,
on
because
Twitch?
you know what they do now is because I play these big tournaments. I used to play like cash games on the tournaments. There's a 5-minute break every hour that you can just do whatever. So I'll like run into the house, get a little snack, kiss my girlfriend, rub the belly, play with the cat for 30 seconds, urinate, back at the table. So I'm like a functioning human for like 5 minutes out of the hour. And usually I'm sessioning for like 12 hours. Nobody wants to hear me talk about poker. They want to talk about the fact that we're a half hour late. I'm sorry.
Sorry, guys.
I don't think-
Just blame it on me.
Yeah, 80
blame it on the black guy.
80 didn't understand the
As
gravity of
usual.
the situation. We didn't really brief him. We didn't give him that much time to know that we were going to be doing this.
The fact that I even came today, you have to
I
give me.
appreciate
Come
it.
on, man.
Yeah, it's because usually you don't know, like, we're very firm on, like, the 6. And if you don't come by 6, then, like, they start without
Because
you.
when we do the news in the morning, we meet up at 10, but if he gets there at 10:15, it's
It doesn't
whatever.
matter,
We're
yeah.
still just
Oh,
sitting
I've
there.
been on time a lot lately.
You've been pretty good, yeah.
Yeah,
I've been real
the times
good.
I did with AD, there was times where he got there before me.
See,
Sometimes
Thank you,
he
Cam,
shows
girl.
up on Skid Row time where he hasn't even
What
slept
is
or
Skid
showered
Row
or
It's
anything.
time?
called being fashionably late.
No, but he shows up like fully, like, you know, eyes still open. He
'Cause I
stinks
be
like
turned up.
alcohol. He's like he was just turning up until 9 in the morning. You go
It's
straight
cool.
from there to. But I mean, hey, I
Damn,
will
I felt
take a
that.
functioning alcoholic like that any day.
I'm dedicated.
Yeah, over somebody who's gonna like go out party like crazy and then just not show up. I don't respect that. I hate people
Wait,
like that.
what is this shirt?
The 98 degree shirt. If anything, I'm kind of embarrassed because I've worn it so many times.
It also
And you
looks.
talking about me?
It looks a little bit. I don't know if the shirt is really worn out, but it kind of looks like blackface.
Black? Well, yeah, they
It
are
does
kinda-
kind of
A
look
little
like
bit.
it.
It
Also,
looks-
this looks like Joe Rogan to me, but like
And
Joe
the
Rogan
other
back
guy
in the
looks
day.
like Eminem. I've never seen you wear like a vintage band tee.
I
Very
got this
interesting.
at round 2 a couple years ago, and for some reason I just keep wearing it over and over and over.
Interesting.
I want to also mention that this
Yes.
podcast is sponsored by Fashion Nova. Everybody head on over to fashionnova.com and buy some stuff. They're so great. They take such good care of us over here at the No Jumper Show. And I'm wearing some Fashion Nova jeans right now. So feeling pretty good. I've been spending some time looking at the Instagram accounts of some major babes that are doing Fashion Nova promotion as well. So I've just got Fashion Nova on the brain. I just wanted to take a second to shout them out.
Shout out to Fashion Nova.
Sicko.
It's not Sicko.
I know.
It's Sicko Cartel.
So you're not an Ian Connor drip supporter?
No.
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 We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, leave it at that.
Yeah, so that's good. But anyway, we are in here. AD,
Yeah.
how was your weekend? Let's just throw it to you first.
Oh man, I was just partying like crazy.
Mm.
I was turned up.
Do you get hangovers?
Nah, I only get hangovers when I like mix all my alcohol. But I usually
What's your
stick to my
usual-
tequila.
Your tequila.
Yeah, brown tequila.
Jesus
you know what I'm
Christ.
saying? Some anejo, some reposado. Get it cracking.
That's pretty amazing. You have bear genetics that you don't get hungover.
You always
bro.
call me a fucking bear, bro.
Yeah, but there's some that's just like a metaphor for the fact that you don't seem really like human in comparison to
Why?
me. Because if I went out and drank as much as you drank, I would.
I would not feel good the next day.
Well, I actually since I've been training, I cut my liquor intake off for like 50%.
Really?
Yeah.
Because when you're drinking and then you go in there and do the Muay Thai shit right after, is
Mm-hmm.
it brutal when you were drinking all night?
Terrible.
what's
it's so much
cut,
harder, right?
What's
Yeah.
cut by 50%? Like a handle?
Like, I just 50%. So instead of doing it 6-7 days a week,
Uh-huh.
I'm like 2 days a week now. I try to do the weekends. But yet today, like I trained and I was like extremely tired.
Yeah. And you know the crazy thing about him though is that he's never done coke, never
Never
done
done
any
coke.
uppers at all. So he's out there
I thought you did
drinking. I'm
Molly
like,
before.
Molly and ecstasy, I tried that before, but yeah.
but like a lot or a little bit.
What you mean? I did Molly for like a little while.
Oh, so you had a little phase.
I had a little phase.
Ooh, I want to hear about this phase.
And
when
I had
AD
2
was just off the
ecstasy.
Molly.
I had I had ecstasy like 3 times and I blacked out every time.
And you were just fucking
That's
like a bandit
crazy.
or no?
I don't know what I did. I was out.
No clue.
No, one time I woke up in a hotel.
Just a
Were you
random
drinking?
hotel?
No, I wasn't drinking. The homies told me, they was like, you was so fucked up. We just got you a hotel, left you in there.
That doesn't
I thought
compute with me.
I thought I got raped for like no bullshit. You wake up in a hotel room under the covers, like
Not
I was like, what the
remembering
fuck
anything?
happened? I
Did
don't
your booty
remember
hole
nothing.
hurt?
No, cuz come on, man. Don't play me like that.
No, I
nigga.
just want to check.
Don't say that, cuz.
No, I don't want to put that out there into the universe. Like
Yeah.
that might then really happen, but I'm just saying.
No, I'm just saying, chill out, cuz.
Oh,
Damn.
okay.
I don't think that was ecstasy. I've never blacked out on ecstasy.
It was these little monkey pills, bro. It was over.
A monkey gave them to you?
No, it was a monkey pill. I
It had,
never
it
did
had like
that
a
shit.
monkey
okay.
imprint on
It
it.
had a monkey, one hand right there, the other one was like this, and that motherfucker
Is
did
that how
his
you
job.
woke up?
Oh, I woke up under the covers. I had texts like 30 girls. I love you. I woke up to a lot of hard eyes, all type of shit.
Wow.
Yep.
Damn, you were in your feelings.
I've
Yes, I was.
Oh man, I used to have nights like that where you would just be so fucked up and so horny that you'd be hitting up every girl in your phone, and then in the
know what that's
morning
like.
you'd be looking through your phone just like, oh no.
I'm one of them guys though. Like if I get super drunk, I may text somebody I was thinking about it. I'd be like, bitch.
I feel like they
You
need to
fucking
make like
bitch, I miss you.
like some kind of lock for like when you're too fucked up where like you can't send texts to certain people.
Oh, I would love
Something like that, you know?
No, but I would probably flip the fuck out and
Or
break
like
my phone.
lock your Instagram so you can't post something like stupid on your story.
Right. No, the worst thing. You ever do Xans?
No.
When you wake up after a Xan night and you are looking at a whole conversation and it's clearly somebody that you met throughout the prior night, and you have no fucking clue, and you're reading the text trying to figure out what happened, and you're talking to her like, oh, like, sorry, so, like, this happened to me at one point. It was just like, sorry, I kissed you in the bar like that, I didn't know, like, blah blah blah. Like, it was just like reading a whole story from your life that you don't remember at all.
And then you don't even save the number, so you're like, who the fuck is
Don't
this?
even know. And then you're like, who's this? And that's like the most offensive thing in the world. You can't really do that at that point.
I know. How do you get someone's name without asking them what's your name?
Get somebody's name.
Yeah.
There's got to
It's
be
so
a lot
difficult.
of little tricks.
It's so difficult.
Hey,
It's gotta
y'all
be some
do
tricks.
not be mad at me, y'all. I
Why?
need to make a real personal phone call right now.
What is it? Okay.
It's
understand.
serious though.
That's cool. We can talk about some white people shit. Where you're
All right, please.
White people
He
shit.
didn't
I'm not
even
white.
look at his phone before he announced that, so it must be some good.
They keep calling.
He can hear it
Something's
blowing up in
happening.
his phone. I mean, AD is really in these streets. We got to respect
Maybe it has
whatever it
something
is
to do
he's
with
doing.
the fire. On the
fire?
five.
I doubt it.
I think they're gonna go rescue someone.
It's probably something to do with. I mean, he just occasionally will just end up on a phone call that you'll just be hearing it, and you'll just be like, oh wow, so this guy's he's really out there in the field, eh? Okay.
Yeah, the his like uncle or whoever that
Oh,
was here
Pun.
that you were like taking the pictures with. I was like,
Crip lives matter. No. Oh, you're talking about DJ Suicide, or no? Actually,
No.
Pun was the one that was here when you were here.
I
Yeah.
can't remember who, but he had his name on his car, and I was like, oh yeah, he's definitely very legit.
AD definitely is the type to hang with people who have like vans with themselves on the outside of the van.
Who like Desto Dub?
He did too. He got a cartoon version of himself. At least with Dubs, it's funny because it's like he's created like a cartoon, like lean drinking alter ego for himself. Because
That has to do with his brand.
I don't want to blow his fucking space or blow his spot or whatever the terminology might be. But Desto Dub is not. He figured out that drinking lean every day was not the move.
I thought he hasn't been I thought he kicked the cup like a while back.
He has kicked the cup, but you know he's still out here selling cup merchandise and lean merchandise and stuff. But at a certain point,
Let's not. What's it called? Be cops right now.
I don't want to be a cop. No, I'll be a cop. He don't really drink lean like that. And I'm just saying that because I know there's a lot of kids out there that like see all the lean stuff and they think it's so tight. Oh, I want to be a lean drinker. I want to live my life in a fucking coma. I want to melt into the couch every night. I want to spend $300 on lean just so I can fall asleep. It's not a good long-term plan.
And maybe it's better that it's becoming more expensive. I heard it's like $150 a line right now.
150 a line. I don't know about that, but it is stupid expensive for sure.
Super
Like you
expensive.
would have to be a real junkie to want to make that a big part of your life at this point.
Yeah, or just really rich.
Or really rich. Yeah, I guess that's part of it too. Maybe that's what the rappers are getting by on. You know.
Yeah, right.
How was your weekend?
Pretty good. My mom, my aunt are visiting, and then I DJ'd the Roots Picnic pre-party for their virtual festival.
So it was a virtual DJing spot.
Virtual festival, and I did the pre-party on my Instagram Live and Twitch, and I got kicked off of my Instagram Live immediately, like 3 fucking times.
For copyright?
Yeah, I'm guessing for copyright, for
Just-
music stuff. And I'm just like looking at D Nice, who's been fucking on Instagram Live for 5 hours straight, not kicked off at all. I'm like,
Yeah, how does he get away with it?
I don't know. He's best friends with Zuckerberg. I don't know what's going on, but he is amazing, and he just flies under the radar, and I just get kicked off like that.
That's crazy. It's a whole new world. I think I got hit for a song that I think it was on my story, or it was
You can't even post on your story anymore?
I don't know, but okay, we posted, there was like a little Dirk clip of just like a clip promoting the song or music video or whatever, and we posted it. boom, like this is
Immediately.
not viewable in any fucking countries, blah blah blah. And then I go to look at Akademiks' page, he has the same exact clip posted, and his seemed totally fine, hundreds of thousands of views. So I really don't know exactly what went on there, because I noticed that there was like a dispute button, and I don't know if Akademiks just disputed it immediately and it just immediately went through, or because on YouTube, if you dispute and then they basically say that you're not the winner of the dispute, it could have a negative ramification on your account.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you can divulge in this, but was it a paid post?
No,
from
it was just
Dirk?
a little Dirk song.
Maybe it was paid to Akademiks and they got it cleared. I don't know how clearing works for Instagram.
He might have got paid for it, so that
Yeah.
might have been a concern, or he might just have posted so many songs that he like knows how the game goes better than I do.
I
Because
mean, if it's the same clip, I don't see why yours would get taken down and his wouldn't.
I mean, maybe he hit the dispute button. That's the main thing I could think of right now, because it would make sense to me if you're Universal Music or whatever, that you are basically just sitting there watching the disputes, because it's like you could have a song go up and it's just pure promotion. But why would they ever not want a song
Being promoted.
You know, like why would you ever not want 60 seconds of a song to be playable on Instagram Live? And also, why does that not count to the charts? Because it seems like it has to at some point, right?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. It does. The whole DMCA, especially for promoting songs and then them taking it down, just makes absolutely no sense, because you're literally just making it bigger by playing it. And even like with DJ sets on Twitch, or people just playing the song while they're streaming games and shit, they're taking all that shit down too. And I'm like, you're helping the artists out right now.
And just think about the jug that is going on here, because like your song could be on a TikTok that has 20 million plays, and I'm pretty sure those plays don't count to your song like charting or whatever, because it's free, I guess. And it makes sense to me that like your music video streaming on YouTube isn't going to count as much as somebody listening to that song on iTunes or Spotify.
Why though?
Because they're paid services, so it just like it seems that there's more intent to interact with the song, whereas like on YouTube, it's I mean it kind of makes sense to me, because you know in some way the Billboard chart should reflect the amount of money that the artist is taking in from the song. But the thing is that like your song going super crazy on TikTok is only really beneficial to your song making money or charting high if that TikTok following then transfers over to Spotify and Apple and YouTube and stuff. So doesn't it make sense that at some point watching or listening to a song for 30 seconds on TikTok should at least count as something towards the popularity of that song?
So how long are TikTok videos? 30 seconds, you said?
They can be up to 60 seconds.
Because what's the like amount of time you have to listen to a song for it to be counted as one stream?
I don't know. That's a really good point. And also, you know, on TikTok but I mean, on Instagram, you could listen to the entire song. It's only a matter of time, though, because even if you can't do that right now, but you definitely will be able to in the future, I think.
I think so, because if they're just trying to count like selling a shirt as like a whole, I mean, it makes sense as a bundle, but like they're skewing all the little like rules for counting for numbers, and I think TikTok and like streaming in different platforms that aren't Spotify and YouTube should count.
Yeah, I mean, I want to leave most of the really good topics till Mr. AD gets back after his call, but what were you gonna say?
Super interesting talking about YouTube and music videos and counting and stuff like that. After the 6ix9ine and
This
the
is what I was
Human
gonna bring
trolls,
up.
I keep seeing more and more fucking paid music video promotion. Even like my mom watches YouTube all day, right? You don't get ads because you have YouTube Pro. I get ads. My mom gets ads, and she watches only like Korean content, and like she's getting like.
She's getting to watch trolls. Even now.
No, not trolls. Just other random music videos. So I don't know if people are seeing like the news about trolls, and then now they're like looking into like YouTube paid promotion.
It's been a big thing for a while.
Yeah.
I never really like got to the point of seeing that much of it. Maybe I should start.
I'm seeing a lot of it now, and it's like it's crazy. I'm seeing like a SoundCloud rapper being like promoted on my mom's like Korean news YouTube video.
But I can barely use YouTube unless I'm logged in on the No Jumper account, because when I'm logged in on as Adam22, it's showing me stuff that I haven't, like on the No Jumper account, it knows everything that I've watched. So it's like there's all these poker streamers I watch, right? And I'm not even subscribed to most of them, but it will tell me immediately as soon as they put a fucking video out, because it'll just pop to the top of my shit, you know? Whereas like Lena got a new Netflix account, it's just shoving shit we already seen into our face a million fucking times, because it doesn't know that we already watched all that shit.
I feel like they still shoved the same shit down even if you watched it.
Really? On Netflix? Well,
me,
I
it
feel
does.
like a lot of times I watch that shit and then it just goes away forever.
I see it. I scroll down and I see it on the trending and everything.
Really?
It's annoying.
That's interesting. Yeah. Well, the news that came out a couple of days ago is that 6ix9ine, and this is a good thing to talk about while AD isn't here, since he's got so much hate in his heart for 6ix9ine that he can barely even hold
Kill
it in.
him.
He will literally sit here and say, "I am going to kill Daniel Hernandez," and then boom, we get kicked off YouTube for hate speech or whatever. But the news came out that yes, he did hit #1, but that song experienced the absolute biggest drop in the history of the Billboard charts. I think it went from #1 to
No
number
way.
37 because, you know, it was so blatantly inflated through merch sales and everything.
Yeah.
And now that song is like basically completely.
No one's streaming it and listening to it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, nobody was probably really streaming it or listening to it all that much in the first place. I think without playlisting, without radio, it's really hard to make a song blow up. But I think that, like, yes, he does have his fans, but I think outside of those fans, like, it's almost nobody wants to hear from him right now.
Yeah, I mean, you need the big fucking machine behind you to be able to stay #1. You can't just sell a bunch of merch and then think that you're going to stay there.
That is one thing that I keep hearing anytime I have a conversation with people about the music business, is that basically if you don't have the labels supporting the content, having, you know, big name artists and shit doesn't even really matter that much, because there's just the push of the label is so massive, which is like kind of hard for me to even comprehend. But I mean, and that makes me wonder too, like when I was watching the Block Boy JB No Jumper song that came out through Atlantic with Take Care or whatever, I've never seen a video on the No Jumper channel get likes and comments and views like that ever, and it's still to this day is like our biggest song or whatever on the platform. I mean, needless to say, I'm skeptical about the reality of those numbers, because I've just never seen
was a good
anything
song.
like that. Yeah, it was a good song.
Video questionable.
And Block,
Song was good.
I was not a huge fan of the video. Yeah, but Block Boy, Take Care. I mean, they were huge at the time. It's not going to like really take them much convincing to get people to listen to it, but still, I don't know. It just always kind of blew my mind and looked a little bit fishy to me. But
You never asked?
about like the I mean, it's just kind of like implied, like it's kind of like built in that like we're putting a lot of money behind the song. It's like, well, what does that mean? No, but like there's a lot of stuff that's like on the table that they do. Like they straight up farm the song out to like huge meme farms, like of meme pages and stuff. Like there'll be one guy who owns like 100 meme pages, and that's just like one guy. They cut him a check for a couple thousand, and then all of a sudden the song is the background on a million different clips. And like they do that now with just meme pages now, but they do it with TikTok girls. Like,
Yeah,
like
I've seen that.
I'll be like scrolling through Addison Rae's TikTok, looking at different videos, and at a certain point it's like there's absolutely no way that these songs are being chosen based on like what you're into or whatever. Like, why am I watching you do like 4 fucking dance videos to the same song in the course of like a couple weeks or whatever? Like, they're absolutely getting big ass checks from labels for that shit.
100%. And have you noticed that the TikTok dances all are the same dance?
Really?
They just cycle the same moves, and they just have a big ass smile on their face doing the same thing.
I hate the smile. I hate the
hate
permanent
this
smile.
Why are they so happy?
Oh my god! I watched. Shout out to Addison Rae. I'm sure she's a great girl, but I watched her do like a Genius interview, and it's so weird how she just smiles huge, talks, immediately goes back to the huge. I just cannot imagine sitting around with a huge, like, it just can't be real. And then like if you actually watch her doing the dances and stuff, it's kind of weird, because yeah, that's a similar conclusion I came to. Is like they don't want to make the dances complicated or hard.
Exactly.
Because
yeah.
then kids aren't going to do them and repost themselves on TikTok doing it. So they make the dances pretty simple. So then all the dances basically end up being exactly the same. And like the TikTok dances that are more involved, like sometimes I'll click on a page and there'll be somebody dancing their ass off. I'm way more engaged watching that.
But you can't copy it.
You can't copy it. Nobody's going to be able to learn the dance.
You know what? I feel like these new TikTokers are like the new American version of like K-pop stars, because like they're just like these manufactured perfect beings, except I mean doing the same thing, pushing music.
But the thing,
Interesting.
the weird thing about TikTok is the conclusions that it will force you to draw about the world around you. Because there's been times where I've been looking at TikTok and thinking like, wow, like when I was a kid, we all wanted to be bad. Like we all wanted to like, you know, ride bikes or skateboard, do sort of like grimy things, or like, you know, we thought it was cool to like sell drugs or like be a criminal and do graffiti, do all this bad stuff. And then you look at TikTok and you're like, all these kids just want to dance and smile and be happy and be
That's
Mr.
not a bad thing.
No, it's totally fine. But I don't think that's reality. The reality is that TikTok takes all the good positive shit and it won't show you anything bad, because on TikTok there's absolutely no smoking, no guns, no fireworks. You will get your shit deleted for fireworks. You will get your shit deleted for swearing. You can barely even people get their videos deleted for saying the N-word. People get videos like anything edgy is either getting taken off the platform or at the very least not being promoted. So when you're looking through that For You tab, it is showing you a very curated, but that's what TikTok is. It's more about the For You tab than the Following tab. And that version of reality that they're showing you is so distorted because it basically removes all the shit that all the young people I know
care about.
are doing. Like when I look through Instagram, when I'm looking through my stories, it's like a lot of my friends, like, you know, basically going around trapping, like for lack of a better word, like, you know, they're just basically out like smoking, pulling guns out. They got bitches around, they're whatever, like all kinds of shit that just is not going to fly on TikTok. So it's like that version of reality, though, is very, very palatable to a lot of people. And it's the same thing with the K-pop thing, except that, you know, Korean society, I guess, is really kind of so controlled that it's more like the K-pop people are kind of a reflection of the actual country.
I wouldn't say that so much.
No?
Yeah, I think that's a reach.
Right.
But I was doing some research on TikTok and I saw that they don't promote people that are ugly.
Yes. No, that's part of it too.
What?
They want when you go to that For You tab, they want people that look like they got money, and they want people who are not fucking ugly. And that, again, it's presenting you. It's the same logic as like when you work in there was all those lawsuits against Abercrombie and Fitch. Because there's like fat people going in there trying to get jobs, and they know that if you walk into Abercrombie and Fitch, part of the whole deal is that it's hot people selling you the clothes.
Hot half-naked people.
Hot half-naked. That was. I probably said this on here before. That was one of the most mind-blowing things in my life. Is when I had no idea this existed. I'm walking through New York City because the Abercrombie back in Nashville, New Hampshire, did not have any hot half-naked models. But I'm walking by Abercrombie and I look in and I just see a dude like oiled up.
Yep.
Huge chest, abs, everything, and he's just sort of standing there with his like unbuttoned Abercrombie shirt. And then there's a girl right next to him, and she's got like a bikini top.
Oh, I've
and
never seen a girl
little like cut off shorts and shit. This is probably like 2005, and I'm just mind blown. Like, what the fuck? They just stand here at the front of the store. Are you kidding me?
No, the crazy thing was when I would go to the mall and they would have those guys, or like two of them, and then like just a bunch of like suburban moms rushing up to them, like taking pictures.
Really?
I'm like, yeah, that was weird. That was a weird time in my childhood.
That's so funny that you could just be a hot dude and that's enough for people to take photos with you.
I mean, I feel like that's celebrity, right?
Yeah,
you just have to be hot.
But that's celebrity before real celebrity. Like, I used to have people take pictures with me because of the tattoos, which was like mind blowing to me. Like, are you fucking serious?
And did they take pictures of you when you went to China?
Oh yeah, they're a decent amount too. But then one time I was watching a Pokemon Go vlog, and there's this Pokemon Go vlogger named Pokemon Master Holly, and I just see like people in the background of the video like taking mad photos with her, and it's like it's because she has blue hair. Like they have no idea who she is, but they're seeing like, oh, an American woman with blue hair, like that's enough.
Wait, where?
I think she was in China, or she was
China.
somewhere in Asia. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's getting a little bit better now because like more foreigners are moving there. But I know that like 10 years ago, probably when you went, if you were white, like they thought you were like famous, rich.
Right. I remember one time I walked into a corner store in China with Catfish, who we talked about last time, and he
I don't know if I like him.
Right. All right, Catfish. Shout out to Catfish. He fucking, we walk in there, and as we're paying for stuff, he goes, I just want you to look at everyone when you walk out, because there was like picnic tables, like 30 fucking Chinese people sitting out there. And when I walked out, every single one of them was staring at me. And this was like night one. And I'm like, what the fuck are they looking at? Like, explain. And he's like, dude, they never see white people in this area. Because we weren't in like the super nice cosmopolitan area either, because we were staying in like a BMX hostel and like the real shit. And, yeah, like they never see white people. They never see tattoos. They never see really tall people. So he's like, basically, you're like the biggest freak of nature that they could possibly see here, and that's why they're all staring at you. But let me ask you this: do they do this in Korea? The thing that blew my mind the most about China was that the random little like squares or parks.
Oh, they have the morning exercise.
No, I'm talking about the dancing. Like at night, on like any given night.
Oh, yeah.
There would be dozens of Korean women just in the park dancing.
Korean?
Chinese women just dancing with other men. And I remember, like, I said to, then they're grown too, like, then they're 30s, 40s, whatever. And I said to fucking my friend Kane, who was the person I was staying with there, I said, what is this? Like, why, like, what are they doing? Like, why are they dancing here? And he's like, well, even though they are older, they still need to have sex. And I'm like, what the fuck does that have to do with them dancing in the park? He's like, well, they need to meet people. Like, this is how the older people meet. I'm like, okay, that actually does make sense to me. Okay.
Was that your Chinese impression?
That's my Kane Wang impersonation. Kane Wang. I don't
know if I like that.
That was a Kane Wang.
I actually just experienced that for the first time. I saw that happen when I was in China in December, and I asked my Chinese friend, and he was telling me, like, it's like their version of going to the club and like and having exercise and I don't know, a community thing. I
like fell in love with the visual of just seeing all these like 40-year-old women and men just dancing in the park.
Cute.
It's so adorable. It's so nice. There's just nothing you could see about it that would make you like have any sort of negative reaction, which is absolutely not what I would say about like the club in LA. Like, picture the club in LA and think of that as a replacement for this. And I just want to say also about Kane Wang, as long as I'm mentioning him, that we did a podcast with, I think, Mike Hoder, and in the middle of it is a BMX guy. In the middle of it, Kane Wang is sitting on the stairs and he takes a dab, and he's from China, so his weed tolerance is not exactly super high. And in the middle of the podcast, because of the dab, he runs to the bathroom and pukes his fucking guts out, and you can hear it in the background of the podcast. It's amazing. It was so good. And also of note with him too, he came to America. He's like a BMX dude. He's like a big deal in the Chinese BMX scene. He's like the guy sort of like holds there in the Shanghai BMX scene. He sort of like holds it together. And he came out because he wanted to get on Tinder, and he thought he was going to probably find an American bride out here. He gets out here the week that they start making you pay for Tinder if you want more swipes. He's like, fuck that. I'm like, bro, you just came from China. It's $10 for Tinder. You just spent like $1,000 on the flight here. He's like, no, fuck that. Next day, totally unrelated, he goes to the fucking, like, I feel horrible laughing at this. He goes to, like, do some sightseeing, and they just park their car on the side of the road with all their suitcases in it.
Oh, God.
And obviously they are relieved of all their possessions by, like, everything they own.
Poor guy.
Jacked. Welcome to LA. And I was just, like, they're telling me about it, and they're, like, surprised. And I'm like, you like went to this area and you left all your shit. You left your suitcases. No, it wasn't, but it was still in Hollywood. It's still like, you just cannot have suitcases in the back of your fucking car in a nice looking rental car in LA. I'm sorry.
You can't even have your phone charger out.
No, yeah. I mean.
Oh, poor Kane Wayne. He didn't even find a bride out here.
I don't think so. I wonder if he actually ended up paying for the Tinder, or if he has found love through other means. Yeah.
You don't talk to him anymore?
Not like that. Not about his love life.
Yeah, I don't know about China, but I know like in Japan, it's a thing that like you don't steal from people at all. So like I literally left like my purse. Like my friends take, okay, wow. Next time you go to Tokyo, you have to go to this place called Burlesque Tokyo, which is like this weird like almost strip club place where they do like these weird performances, and like these girls are wearing like bikinis and like lingerie, but they like do these crazy dances, and I don't know, it's insane. But apparently I couldn't take like my backpack and my suitcase, which I had at the time, so I left it at the front door, and my friend's like, you'll be fine. I'm like, no, I won't.
Right.
And so I kept checking on it every 10 minutes. No one took it.
That was
I was like, what?
My experience being in China was like, holy fuck, like, how is nobody paying attention to me? I could be stealing everything because I thought
everyone was paying attention to you.
Oh yeah, like that. But like, you know, when you're in the store or whatever, and you're just used to some degree of security, when you're in like a store, there's people looking at you, there's cameras, etc. And like, as an American, I'd just be like looking around like, oh fuck, there's no security, there's no. And the only reason I was even thinking it, because even like 10 years ago I was past the like shoplifting from the store period in my life, but I have friends who are absolutely not. And there's like a BMX team that went to China like right before us, and we were having a conversation with them, and they were just like, we stole everything. They were like, we were just shoplifting fucking everything. And also everywhere you would go, you would see these fools' names, because they do graffiti too, and they would just be writing their names fucking everywhere. And there's like no graffiti in Shanghai from my experience, like just very, very little graffiti. So it just stood out so much that we were seeing our friends' names everywhere we went.
I got mad as fuck.
What was that about?
Are you okay?
I'll tell you afterwards. It's
Wow.
I thought you weren't coming back. Also, House Phone is not arrested for people that saying free House Phone.
No, yeah. He's not arrested. He's right here.
street shit. I'm back though.
But that was street shit. I can't wait to hear about it.
Oh, you're gonna love
I'm
it.
gonna call the cops up
Is
right
everyone
after I
else-
listen.
is-
Okay,
No.
I got all the deets.
You're gonna love it. I promise you.
Really?
It's one of those.
It's one of those.
Yeah.
God damn.
Curious. Is everyone okay?
AD's a connection
Oh,
to the
yeah.
streets.
Oh, okay.
To the streets. All right,
Well,
now.
we're saving all the topics. So
Yeah,
yay.
we were just talking about Asia at length for 35 minutes.
I love Asia.
Asia? Who's Asia?
The continent.
Oh,
I mean, there are a lot of women named Asia.
Oh,
I have my little sister name is Asia. I was like, Asia who?
Right. There's probably more women named Asia than people in the continent of Asia.
Yeah.
Definitely. No? Okay. Pretty big continent. You might be right.
China has like fucking 3 billion.
Hey, I want to ask you this, though, before. I don't even know if we're going to do this topic first. No, we definitely aren't. But I did want to ask you, is your daughter into, like, the makeup community? Is she watching that shit on YouTube? Like,
No, my baby mama is a makeup artist though.
oh, really?
wow.
Yeah.
So it's probably only a matter of time.
Like a celebrity makeup artist.
Really?
Yeah.
So, but what does your daughter watch on YouTube, if anything? What's she interested in?
My daughter watched people playing Roblox on YouTube, and she fucking watches this fucking YouTube couple. I don't know why.
Ace family.
It's a black guy, and he got like it's him. It's like a dark skinned guy, and he got like a light skinned girlfriend, and she watches them all the time. They
think
got
it's Ace
millions
family?
of subscribers.
That can't be the Ace family, right?
I don't know,
He's not very dark skinned.
Yeah, and she's straight up white.
but like my daughter
like
like
Mexican.
Is
literally.
she?
I don't know.
My daughter literally like watches them 24/7 now.
Oh, I'd love to know who they are now.
I'm gonna find out.
There's a lot of popping YouTube
There are a
like
lot
couples
of-
and stuff. My girl's
Yeah.
been watching Mr. Kate nonstop. You know who that is? They're like an interior design couple. So they're,
They did Jeffrey's house.
yes, they're a couple, but they also just will like pull up your crib and just redesign your whole house, and they actually do an amazing job from what I can tell. Not really paying attention at all while she watches it. Okay, so our first topic that we want to talk about first, let's just mention this
Okay.
coronavirus.
Yeah,
It's real.
It's back.
It's never
it's
left.
back and better than ever.
Barely even left. When you look at the deaths in America, the number of cases in America, it's astounding. We have done arguably the worst job of containing this virus, thanks largely
Yeah.
to our president. President Trump has sort of led us into this experience. And yeah, it's looking like definitely the summer's canceled, and
God
quite
damn.
likely like the next year. I don't think we're going to be going to a Rolling Loud for like a year at least.
Yeah.
You know the crazy thing about the corona shit is like now it's like, why did you guys open up in the first place if we was gonna do this again? You know what I'm saying?
Because people were so mad about not having a job and they're rioting.
Well, now you're really not gonna have a job. It's worse
No.
than it was.
I think, yeah.
And the clubs only opened a week. I went to 3 clubs and I'm mad. I gotta go sit back home again now.
Wait,
Right.
where? In the OC? Or
No,
where?
in LA.
Nah, Hollywood opened.
They
up.
opened?
They did.
Wow,
But
I
it
had
sucks,
no
right? Because
idea.
they're at like 40% occupancy.
It was still cracking.
It was still all right though.
I mean, it was cool.
What club did you go to?
It was a derriere on Friday.
Did you shake your
Yes.
derriere?
No,
Shake your derriere.
They're closing the beaches for
4th of July?
4th of July,
That's
which
smart.
really sucks because it's gonna be 87 this
The
weekend.
entire beach.
All of the LA beaches.
all
are-
the LA.
What are
beaches.
you doing Saturday?
Where was it? 4th of July?
Yeah.
I'm in the hood.
I thought you were
Like
doing
them
the
little motorcycles?
I thought you were doing the donation stuff.
We're doing that
We're
Friday.
doing that Friday.
Let's throw that out there for the people who don't know. Cam Girl will be streaming after this, I assume.
Yes.
And me and AD have been streaming every Saturday night, but we're actually going to be doing it this Friday night. So if you want to get your music heard, I think we're actually going on early too. We get online at like 3 or 4.
And we get high as fuck.
we get so high.
Yeah, we do dabs.
We do dabs.
I drank a whole thing of whiskey. I had
God damn.
4 beers, and me and Adam smoked like 4 spliffs.
Yeah, and
Yep.
probably and
How are you guys still up?
I'm used to it.
we get pretty slumped. But then also Lavelle is coming Friday, and Lavelle is a fat doink roller of a man. So he's going
Wait, is Lavelle Vale?
Lavelle,
That's
yeah.
my guy.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah. So
He
Lavelle.
wants you guys to be best friends so bad.
We just went running.
Oh, you guys
yeah,
are
yeah, yeah.
best
Just went to the park.
friends.
See, that's the best thing that could possibly happen is you bring your homies together, and especially like
He's like me though. He wants to beat niggas up. He
Right.
wants to have fun, get cracking.
like,
Come on.
You're kind of like a more a mature adult stage
Yes.
in your life, and he's still a little bit like more like with the fuck shit. He's really in the hood still.
Bro.
So I'm happy to bring him and make you friends with him because I feel like you could help him to like elevate his
To grow
situation
up.
in life.
The white people pay me now, and the
Right.
white people is Adam.
Yes,
See,
the white person almost.
I don't have to act like this. You feel me? As long as my
you're
bills are
out
paid.
there on the phone issuing murders.
No, I didn't issue no. But
Okay.
you gonna hear it. This is crazy.
Oh, I'm ready for it. No, but yeah, Lavelle, he was supposed to come the other day, but I mean, He's got a little hustle. He's been out in the streets. It's like it's not really that illegal. It involves fireworks, but he's out here. He's the
Everybody
firework
in
man.
the hood is selling fireworks right
And
now.
actually, Vel got a new Instagram, so shut up, fuck Vel, but it's FUCC
What happened to his
Vel.
old one?
If you go to who I follow and search FUCC, then it'll be the first one came up. What happened to it? I don't know. It might have been something firework related.
I feel like you tried so hard to help him get his numbers up.
Oh yeah. He
No.
got up to like 12K, or he was living
You
life.
know what I think it is?
You a hood
it's
celebrity
that new
with
scam
12K.
now. You see the new scam? Somebody will DM you like, "Oh, look what I did with your pictures," and if you click on that shit,
Can't click
they
it.
can get your information.
If Vel fell for that, he probably wouldn't admit it. So that kind of makes sense.
Well, they try to get me every day.
Every day,
At least 10,
I'm
15
surprised
times
you
a
ain't
day.
go for it yet.
I ain't gonna go for that.
Man, if you watch 90 Day Fiance and you would see all these people falling in love, there's a chick,
They're
a grown
crazy.
ass black woman on 90 Day Fiance who is so in love with a blatant Nigerian scammer who is pretending to be this like huge chiseled like muscle dude from England, but like you hear him on the phone and it's so clearly a Nigerian dude. The phone number is traced back to Nigeria. She hired a private investigator to look into it. He's like, this is a Nigerian scammer. She still won't believe it. It's fucking amazing. Anyway, I think that might be who's getting.
I would definitely do that for the TV.
Pretend
What?
to get tricked by a Nigerian
90
scammer.
Day Fiance?
I'll be on 90 Day Fiance for
I would
sure.
love to see you on there. That would be
Yeah.
so amazing.
Oh, if I was single, oh my god, I would love that.
I think like when people see me on TV, not like some reality shit, I'm just gonna break the fucking internet because I don't have no fucking filter. Y'all know me.
Would you
right.
be
You gotta
on Love
filter
and
your
Hip Hop?
industry.
I am not industry, nigga.
You industry.
No,
We
I'm
in the
not.
streets. You
I've been in the
industry.
streets.
You
I've
got
been in
you're
the
friends
streets.
with all these rappers. You're keeping their secrets. You're out here in the field.
I mean, I got that's like if somebody asked me about you, cuz I can't tell my
Right.
nigga Adam secrets.
But if you had no filter, then you
Do
would
not
really
tell this
air
guy
shit
secrets.
out. What?
No filter don't mean that. I'm gonna keep it G at the end of the day.
Right.
You feel me?
Nah, that's right.
That's all I'm saying. But
true.
I don't give a fuck what somebody thinks about what I say.
Damn, so
Put it
you,
that
you
way.
got people hitting you up like, Adam 22 ain't shit. How you cool?
They
with
tell
him,
me that shit all the time. I tell
Really?
them, fuck you, bitch, pull up.
Really?
Yeah. All the
Well,
time.
you're talking about random commentators or like real life people?
Not real life people.
I feel like in real life I get a lot of love, and then on the internet I get a lot of hate.
Yeah, people DM me, they be like, fuck Adam. They be like, oh, you're a coon now. Shit like that.
Look at the coon.
Yeah, look at the coons. Won't you look at the coons?
There's this video that he loves
I
from the
love
Trump
it.
convention.
The black Trump supporters. Look at the coons. We just look at the coons.
I'm uncomfortable with it.
For the record, Adam does not share my humor.
No, it's just sometimes a little. There's just something about just like calling all black people
Yeah.
who are like voted for Republican. Like, and listen, I'm so anti-Trump that I can kind of fucks with it, but I don't know. It's like certain things that like if I let you say it on camera, then it's almost like I'm saying it, and for me, like me calling someone that
can't
is
say it.
mega offensive, right?
You can't say that. I can say it though. So if you have a MAGA hat and you a nigga, you a fucking coon in my eyes. And if I see you wearing it, they stop me all the time because they always say I talk about violence. So I'm not gonna
YouTube
do
is a lot
anything.
more open. You can just air it
Well,
out.
I'm gonna snatch your MAGA hat off. I'm gonna slap the shit out of you probably. To be honest,
Yeah, I fucks with it. It's fun.
That's a lot less violent than I thought you were gonna get.
they always talk about he's violent. They violent. Like if you see the Snapchat show, there's a lot of stuff that they do not put on.
But
that I
because
say.
AD can't help but basically be like talking about 6ix9ine, it's basically like, oh, he needs to die. Like they need to kill him. Like that.
But-
that's his actual opinion. And at some point, he will actually just say that. Which you're a principled guy. Like you have rules that in your head
listen,
you need to live by. So I get it.
I'm from the hood.
Yeah.
You feel me? I actually gangbang. And part of the gangbang rules at the end of the day is if you snitch, you get stitches at the end of the day, right?
Right.
So if somebody, the hood that he was claiming, yes, they want to kill that nigga. And they should if he told on them. If I snitch on my homies, they supposed to kill me. They're supposed to.
That's one thing I like about being around you is that you really help normalize death. They're like quite often there'll be somebody who died or whatever that I'll be like shocked by it, and you'll be like, well, this happened and this happened.
Bro, I come from the hood. You talking about, I done been to 20, 30, 40 funerals in the last 5, 6 years. Like, you get numb to that shit. But there's always consequences and there's always reasoning behind stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now, right now, I'm cool. I don't like seeing my black brothers and sisters, my SA brothers and sisters killing each other, doing anything bad right now at the end of the day.
Wow, you just made me realize LA needs a non-racist white gang. Do we have that? Is there like is that
No,
even a
because
thing?
y'all gonna turn racist then.
I don't think that's.
You think we just
I
switch
don't
it
even
up?
think that exists.
It could though, right?
You got to understand, like, racial tension right now is at an all-time high
between blacks and whites and blacks and Mexicans, between everybody.
It's like it's all over the place. And you know the crazy thing is too is like I'll be showing you guys stuff off camera, and just like today, I'll give you an example. Right, there's a Mexican man. Right,
Elote man, right?
He was robbed, and he was robbed. And he was beat up by 2 black teens at the end of the day in Long Beach, right? And me, when I see stuff like that, I let the Mexican community know. I don't stand for that. You feel me? I don't fuck with that. And I would do whatever it takes to show that. You feel me? I used to have a Mexican roommate. You know what I'm saying? Like, I stayed with him for 2-3 years. That's a Mexican nigga helped put me on.
Boy West Coast?
No, not Boy West Coast.
Roommate? Okay.
Nah, but, like, keeping it G at the end of the day, like,
was a little pump?
No, my God.
Okay. Keep going.
I support my brown brothers at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And with me having a platform, I got to shed my light on stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop news is cool and shit like that, but I be telling Adam, like, hey, look, this is something that's happening. Josh, this is something that's happening. And they're getting it from a different perspective. You know what I mean?
But I want to see, has anybody like really documented or covered like the sort of race relations between blacks and Mexicans in LA? Because I haven't really seen any like articles about it or whatever, and I feel like that issue deserves that kind of a real like investigative attention. But it's so not easy. It's so not easy to create like original reporting on that kind of thing, because you have to really get down in the streets and talk to people.
It's been like that. Like when I was growing up in middle school, it was bad. Like it was bad. I remember they had like a saying, like they said, oh, I'll never forget, I was in middle school. They said if the Mexican mafia sees you, anybody on the street wearing a white t-shirt, they was gonna kill black people. It was like always like that.
A white t-shirt?
Yeah, it was like serious like that in the hood.
How you gonna claim a white t-shirt? I can understand claiming like a blue rag. That's very specific, but everybody got a white tee, right?
No, but everybody, predominantly black people, used to wear white t-shirts. White t-shirts were popular as hell.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know
what year we talking?
You said what?
What year?
This is shit. When was this? 2004, 2005?
Because I remember as a BMX rider, you know, we're all on the East Coast. We all think we're grimy. We all got tight jeans, whatever. All of a sudden, we start seeing the BMX riders from East LA and shit, and every goddamn one of them had a white tee that's like pretty much down to their knees, and like it's getting caught in the tires, so they'd all have like a little doo-doo looking stain on the back of their white tee when they're out riding, which mind blowing. The West Coast had this style, and then the East Coast had this style, and like sometimes like they would come to the East Coast and they would look like they're from another fucking planet because they would dress so different. Anyway, okay, so basically, race relationships are bad, and we're all gonna die in a fire.
Well, no, right now I feel like our black and brown brothers are standing together against the white people right now.
Yeah,
all the Karens in the world right now. You know what I'm saying? What's that guy we seen? We seen the with his wife. That was with all the shits. They had the straps.
Hey man, but you would be doing the same thing they were doing if that was your crib, because they were pulling up, approaching on his house and shit.
But you got to understand the reason why we're doing it. We're not just protesting for no reason.
It's not like you were like in the mayor's neighborhood that day.
I mean, if I was in the mayor's neighborhood, I don't mean that you have a gun put out.
Right,
Yeah.
but if people were creeping up on your house, that's the weird thing about that is like obviously that mental image or the photograph of this woman with her finger on the trigger pointing at people and shit is crazy as fuck, because anybody who knows anything about guns is that you do not point it at something that you're not about to shoot, and you don't have your finger on the fucking trigger like that. Like that was so crazy.
And they should have been arrested. If that would have been to me personally, if that would have been any other minority, they would have for sure arrested them. It would have went left at the end of the day, and that's what we're talking about.
But I mean, at the end of the day, I like seeing them defend their house, bro. I don't know the details
But
of it, but like,
nobody is.
that's what they were saying, is that they were running up on their house.
Okay, look, they were peaceful protesting. Where's the evidence that shows that? Now, if somebody walks in your house, you should get cracking in.
I would want to see the evidence, but I mean, hey, if you're coming on my yard, I'm gonna fucking shoot you. So I mean, it is what it is.
As you should. But at the end of the day, a lot of people are really showing their hate right now.
Have the gun stores chilled out? Like, can we actually?
Hell no, there's lines everywhere.
See, I've been fucking meaning to buy a new gun for a minute, and now I've been hearing these lines are all crazy and shit. Maybe I can just order one on Amazon or something, right?
I don't know if you can order guns on Amazon.
Don't got straps. I could just buy one on the street, right?
You can buy it on the street.
Okay, maybe I'll just do that.
No cereal too.
Anybody selling guns? DM me.
I got you.
All right. I'm just kidding, officers. I'm just kidding. Anyway, I want to talk about this. Last night, Akademiks versus Freddie Gibbs, which has been brewing for a little bit, absolutely exploded on the timeline. If you want to go to the No Jumper Instagram, you can read every single tweet that was sent for a period of time, although I'm pretty sure that there's a whole lot of new tweets. Basically, they're going to war. Akademiks, I think Freddie Gibbs basically started it out, or like the most recent version of it, because he actually said, I got 5,000 for any bad bitch that'll say she fucked Akademiks. Boom. It went crazy from there. Akademiks hopped on his Twitch and he was wilding. I've seen him drunk on Twitch multiple times before, but I've never seen him like this. And he was like slurring his speech kind of. He was talking all crazy out the side of his mouth on some fucking murder shit. It was a totally different act, and he was definitely really unhappy with the Freddie Gibbs thing, but he also notably came for Ben Baller and basically said that Ben Baller is a scammer. He did call Drake an idiot at one point for basically...
I missed that part. I was looking. I saw you guys say that in the text, and I was looking for it, and I did not want to watch like a 2-hour Akademiks drunk video.
Before we get into like opinions and stuff, I just want to lay out a few things. Is that so? There was that thing. He said that Ben Baller is an idiot and a scammer, and then he said that Drake is an idiot for buying his chain from Ben Baller. But basically, you know, Drake probably got hooked up because Drake is going to convince more people to do it or whatever. And then he also, this is a part that really, really stood out. And this is taking the 6ix9ine thing to another fucking level. And I saw this, Vlad, I believe, was the one who pointed this out, is that they were talking about the fact that Freddie Gibbs got shot at in New York City, right? Because Akademiks called 6ix9ine while he was on stream. And he said to 6ix9ine, like, you know who Freddie Gibbs is? And 6ix9ine said, oh yeah, that's the one that Harv shot at. So he basically, because there was an incident in which Freddie Gibbs got shot at in New York City, and I have absolutely no idea why. And I guess somehow Jim Jones came to be involved in it when Freddie Gibbs was saying fuck you to everybody. But basically, 6ix9ine snitched on Harv, who's already locked up for some bullshit that 6ix9ine snitched on him for. And 6ix9ine then basically implicated Harv in another murder. Who knows what the cops know? Maybe the cops, this ain't that much of interest to him, but it certainly might be, because there's no reason, just because he's locked up for shooting at somebody right now, don't mean he can't get locked up for more murders. So 6ix9ine saying that casually on FaceTime with Act was like the most bugged out shit that I heard in a minute. Give us your thoughts. And because also, I just want to throw it out there, Freddie Gibbs is now making merchandise with a picture of a Teletubby with Akademiks' face on it, and then on the back it says Akademiks is the police.
Well, you already know. Freddie Gibbs is a personal friend of mine. You feel me? Like, I've been fucking with Gibbs for years. Gibbs he doesn't give a fuck what the industry thinks. He says what he feels at the end of the day. That nigga really ain't got no filter at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? But the thing that I didn't like, Akademiks brought his kids into the shit. And you don't do that to no street nigga at the end of the day. You feel me? If you bring my kids into the situation, it's up for life with me. I'm telling you that. If I ever see you, it's up there in any type of situation. But he didn't talk about my kids. You feel me? But yeah, that shit's fucked up though, okay? I don't like that. I don't like that shit.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty bad strategic move from my perspective. Because at the end of the day, if
that
you're
nigga was foaming at the mouth.
Akademiks' whole business, his whole brand is based around it's not entirely based around, but basically, you know, he has to function within the music industry. And if he doesn't want the kind of, like, the problems that he had with Vic Mensa, fine, because Vic Mensa's not going to shoot you. And you can see Vic Mensa at Comedy Con, he ain't going to do nothing. The problems that he now has with Freddie Gibbs, like what you're saying, I'm assuming that Freddie Gibbs' attitude on it might be pretty close to yours, and that he probably has a lot of associates. I
didn't talk to him yet. But this is the thing when it comes down to it. If you're going to be a blogger, right? If you're going to be a journalist at the end of the day, and you saying that you're not a street guy, you don't want no issues, you don't do nothing like that, then there's certain ways that you handle shit. You're handling it like you want real smoke with the nigga. You know what I'm saying? And if that was me, I'm gonna assume that you after me, and I'm gonna get cracking with you as soon as I see you. So if that's not what the wavelength that you on, you shouldn't do that in the first place. Adam, you do this shit all the time. Adam, as he has fun, he says what he says at the end of the day, but he does not try to be a tough guy in any type of capacity. And Adam probably will fuck one of you niggas up to keep it G. But you don't come across as that, right?
No, but I mean, Akademiks does, like, you know, when you see the way he moves, is that I don't think anybody's catching Akademiks slipping, because I ain't never seen anybody post a video of running into him somewhere.
JFK got popped in the head. Nigga, the president got smoked. Anybody can get smoked if it's up there. I'm just letting you know.
That was back in the day. I don't know if they really have like sniper level resources for Akademiks.
Shit.
I don't know, but basically, all right. Let's just put it this way. I saw that Anthony Fantano had a poll up on his Twitter. It said, "Who you supporting in this, Akademiks or Freddie?" It was, I think, 95%. Freddie Gibbs. And that is, you know, and let's be real, there's a lot more people who watch Akademiks' videos and follow Akademiks on Instagram than listen to the new Freddie Gibbs tape. But at the end of the day, Freddie Gibbs
is fire.
It is fire. I also want to say that too. Go stream Alfredo. This is a great project. But at the end of the day, if you're a musician and you're making music that people love
Mm-hmm.
versus being like a blogger or like me or whatever. Like same thing with me. I know there's a lot of people who follow my shit. I got probably, I don't know if I have more followers than Freddie Gibbs, but I have a lot of followers, whatever. If I get into a beef with Freddie Gibbs, it's not going to go that good for me, because at the end of the day, as an artist, you get to be uncompromising. As a blogger, you have to very much compromise yourself all the time, because you're a news outlet. You're the one having the conversations. People are never going to love your content the way that people love like real uncompromising hip hop, So from the moment, and people like their view of Freddie Gibbs is that he is an uncompromised person, that he very much is a soldier of hip hop, and that he's out here doing his thing, and that it's just, this is not the fight that Akademiks wanted to take on. If I was Akademiks, I would have kind of took it on the chin, took the disses at a certain point, because Akademiks doesn't respond to most people who diss him. That's kind of like part of his protocol that he's actually described to me, is that most people who say shit about him, he just doesn't respond back. For some reason, Freddie Gibbs, he decided, all right, this is somebody I'm gonna publicly beef with. I don't think it was a good choice for him.
But you got to look and see what happened. If you really look at it, Axe started the whole shit.
He started with the calling out for the...
He said if Jeezy's irrelevant, then you're irrelevant at the end of the day. So if you say something about me and I defend myself, and in response to that, you bring my kids into the situation, now it's a whole nother monster when it could have been a misunderstanding at the end of the day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That, and he did a video like 2 weeks ago or something talking about Freddie Gibbs saying, like, if you're on Crime Watch, Crime Stoppers, and you're whatever, an op, and Akademiks did a whole video on like why Freddie Gibbs is like...
Right, because, right at the very moment that the Gunna Crime Stoppers show, whatever thing, was like a huge part of the conversation that was happening, right at that moment, Freddie Gibbs chose to tweet out some shit about, if you were ever on Crime Stoppers and you're a snitch, yada, yada, yada. And then he tried to say that he wasn't talking about Gunna. Because Akademiks or whoever on his team posted it and basically said, like, this is Freddie Gibbs offering his thoughts more or less about Gunna.
He did a whole video on it.
Right after the fact, after Freddie Gibbs said that he wasn't referring to that
but
or
that's
whatever.
what Akademiks does, though. That's his job to do that.
To connect the dots, to be like, oh, look, Freddie Gibbs
To
said this.
speculate anything. Adam would do the same
connect
thing.
some shit. I would do it too, for
He
sure.
would do the same thing. But let me tell you guys something. Streetwise, you can't call nobody a snitch unless you see their paperwork. If it ain't no paperwork, you can't say nobody is telling. You know what I'm saying? So if you cooperated with the police, it's in black and white, it's public records, you can look that shit up.
But that's what the act wasn't saying, like, oh, Freddie Gibbs is saying this about Gunna, and act is also not saying Gunna is a snitch. His whole platform
just speculating.
is he just throws it up there and says, what do you think?
Nigga, it's clickbait.
Do you think Freddie Gibbs was talking about Gunna? I don't know.
Nigga, you would do the same exact thing. It's clickbait.
Because it's a lot safer and easier. Because if I was posting about that, I can't say the Gunna's a snitch, nor do I give a fuck. But I can't conclusively say that. And also, I can't conclusively say that Freddie Gibbs was talking about Gunna. But you can post it and say, who do you think he's talking about? Do you think he's talking about Gunna? A lot of people are having this conversation about Gunna right now. So I actually think that Akademiks, in terms of that disagreement, I think he definitely has a strong point, which is that Freddie Gibbs, like, you are commentating on the culture and you're saying things, and if you're going to say something about snitches at the exact moment that everybody's having this conversation, then you're gonna have to expect that people are gonna have that conversation in public. And so I think he was right about that. I think Act totally crossed the line when he started saying shit about his kids. And I also think that when Act starts arguing about who has more money and stuff, this is not a great argument for him to try and choose either, because at the end of the day, nobody loves Freddie Gibbs because he has the most money. People fuck with him because he seems like a stand-up dude and his music is good and he's a good rapper.
Super funny.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
Money
too.
has nothing to do with character.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who you is as a person at the end of the day.
If you wanted to like a rapper based on who has the most money, then you might like, a Gunna or a Drake or a whoever, like the biggest rappers. Freddie Gibbs is clearly somebody that people listen to, not because he's the most fucking rich or whatever. It's just
Freddie's
because they respect
Freddie's
him.
a lyricist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Freddie is somebody that's been here over a decade and can still be here over a decade at the end of the day.
And so, but now you have Freddie basically saying that he is going to torture Akademiks until he's basically forced out of the industry, and that is kind of, if he really sticks to that,
have you ever
that's
watched
a lot of pressure.
Freddie's story?
I was about to comment. I
need to watch it more, but
I
yes,
watch
it's great.
Freddie's story every single day. It's
so
the most
funny.
entertaining shit.
I want to know where he finds his memes.
The best part is we went to Vegas for day and night, and we went to this like hibachi spot, and like we told them it was our birthday. So they bring out like this like thing covered with like a blanket, and then they reveal it, and it's a big dick, and then House One takes a shot of it. Did you see that picture or video?
And he was asking
and,
about it. He has
and
very
Freddie,
I was
Freddie
concerned.
posted it, and I thought it was so funny.
Yo, Freddie Gibbs' Instagram story randomly.
I didn't know that was real. I was like,
yeah, he's like, well, that photo wasn't real, was it? I'm like, oh no, that's real. Yeah.
I was like, sheesh.
He was slurping from a schlong. It was a whole thing.
That was funny.
But anyway, like, so now the floodgates are kind of open because people are seeing how well Freddie Gibbs' battle against Akademiks is sort of playing out in the public eye. And now you got Meek Mill on his head. Meek Mill had a crazy tweet earlier basically saying, like, Akademiks is canceled, yada, yada, yada. I mean, Meek Mill, another person who has a lot of sway in the industry, and I feel like, you know, if
Meek a real nigga,
right? But if
Someone you
Meek
definitely
is
shouldn't be beefing with,
you know, if Meek is saying
Akademiks.
that, but Meek has been having issues with Ak for a long ass time. The Freddie Gibbs one is new.
But see, you got to understand this as a street nigga, right? What I'm gonna give y'all the basic principles. If you are, which is 6ix9ine, if you are affiliating yourself with a known snitch, you're giving them the platform at the end of the day, you are affiliated with that. It's just like you're just as guilty at the end of the day. Now, you could do your blog and you could do this and do that. Now, Adam, what he doesn't care about the 6ix9ine situation. It doesn't affect him, but he doesn't shed light on it. He does exactly what he's supposed to do. Is this happened in the news at the end of the day, but his personal opinions on it, he don't put that shit up in there.
Oh no, I put my opinions out about 6ix9ine all the time. It's just like, and that's one thing I hate.
But that doesn't stop you from shedding light on the situation.
Right, but I also, like, I feel like if 6ix9ine takes a W, it's right for us to cover it and call it a W, but then also to contextualize it, like, okay, he got number one with Nicki Minaj, that's really great, but also look how he did it. Like, you got to be real about it because you can't just give in to the smoke and mirrors of 6ix9ine, especially in his case where it's so fucking blatantly taking place right before your eyes.
Off of how I think about stuff and how I've been affected. I've been snitched on before at the end of the day, and there's certain stuff that you don't play with. And my whole thing is this: I don't have a personal problem with 6ix9ine, but I don't want other kids to think that you can you can join gangs, you can do this, you could do this, you could do this, you could tell on somebody, ruin people's lives, and come back and be successful. It's giving out the wrong message at the end of the day.
If 6ix9ine just so happened to be in the other room, would you go beat the dog shit out of him just for the culture?
I'm not gonna beat him up because I don't have no personal issue with the nigga.
I don't snitch on a bunch of people. Like,
I don't care if I sock the nigga, he gonna tell on me then, right?
No, yeah, definitely.
So that's
probably worth it, right?
I mean, nah, it ain't worth it.
Do a little bid.
Nah, if the nigga working with the feds,
that's
cool,
permanent
man.
Clout. Post that video, boom, AD.
But I don't do shit for clout.
Your stock is through the roof.
But I don't do shit for clout. I would keep it G.
Yeah, but can you just beat the shit out of somebody because you disagree with
Academy says in regards to black music or whatever, but then if you're looking at the BET, that's supposed to be black owned television.
But remove the racial dynamic. Me growing up looking at MTV, why would I have ever thought that MTV was going to give me anything other than a completely politicized, you know, I just never thought that this was a trustworthy name that I would, but I'm also a person that never grew up interested in the Grammys. I never thought that there was anything that the Grammys were ever going to put out into the world that I was going to find resonated with me in any way.
I get that one.
It's an accolade that like people strive their whole careers to get, you know, a Grammy or whatnot.
But I would have never in a million years, as a person who's interested in music, would have never thought about getting a Grammy or someone I know winning a Grammy. Like, the idea that people want that and that's a big thing that a lot of people are gunning for is so completely foreign to me.
But you got to remember when Kendrick was going against Macklemore, and Macklemore ended up winning the Grammy, and he ended up texting Kendrick like, "You deserve this." Like, even he thought
one of the corniest things in the history of hip hop.
It wasn't corny. He didn't deserve Album of the Year that year.
No, but him texting Kendrick saying that and then posting it.
Well, yeah,
is one of the lamest things that anyone in and shout out to Macklemore. You know, he probably knows in retrospect that was a little corny, but
I don't think his intentions was like, let me do this cornball shit. He knew the outrage that people was having, and I feel like if he didn't say nothing at all publicly, people would probably be on his head like white privilege type shit.
Him saying it to Kendrick was just so fucking weird. But okay, if the year is 2020 and I'm Macklemore and I'm up against Kendrick Lamar for Album of the Year and I win, I am gonna get on stage and say, I am so sorry. I'm really sorry because like from the beginning, because I don't think they would in this day and age. There's no way they're letting Kendrick get beat by Macklemore for Best Album of the Year, because that would spark more protests. Like, there would be protests. Like, there should be protests if that were to happen.
I wouldn't be surprised if it happened.
Well,
this year.
Not no more.
Macklemore is not really.
The Grammys have been like literally trying to get it right, like showing them,
Desperately,
the black community, like, nah, we're not going for that no more.
We forgot to mention it, but yeah, the internet shut down and the entire computer shut down. So this part that we're recording right now is not something that we did live. So if you want to see this, then you're seeing it right now for the first time. So that's cool. We don't have the pressure of everybody watching us live. They're going to just see it after the fact, which is, for me, I feel exactly the same. But
yeah, I do enjoy reading some of the funny comments, but whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck them. So I think we are pretty much wrapping up the Akademiks thing, and I don't know.
Can we make that bigger?
There's probably no reason for us to discuss me just embarrassingly not knowing anything about who the fuck this August guy that apparently is viral as fuck.
You don't
is
know
right
it.
now.
That's crazy to know August Alsina is. That's why I sent it to you. I was like, nigga.
I just have zero
doesn't
R&B knowledge. That was one thing that really blew my mind when I started to really listen to Joe Budden's podcast. Is like, these guys aren't just like peripherally aware of R&B.
Love it.
They're really into it. They go to R&B festivals.
What did you have sex to?
Cannibal Corpse.
To like
What is
fucking
that?
famous Dex.
Famous.
I'm like, damn.
My
nigga.
best of famous Dex playlist from 2017. Yes. No, I have never in my entire life gone out of my way to listen to R&B music. It's never really occurred to me as something
That's
I
why
would be
I say
interested in.
when he becomes Dad Adam, he's gonna.
You think Dad Adams is gonna bring R&B out of him?
Why would
I
my
think
kid
so.
want to listen to R&B? Like,
I don't know. You're just gonna look at him and want to
R&B
listen
is
to like
beautiful, bro.
exactly.
But why would my kid want to listen to it? You
I
think
think
that
you're
kids
gonna-
want to
you-
listen to
Yes.
her?
I think it's like way
Her
more
is amazing.
calm than
But
like
you think
Rio,
that like a
the young
2-year-old
OG.
is going to want to get into that?
Her has catchy songs. You heard the song she got YG? You probably
I've
heard it
never
before.
heard her. I do not know one single song. So
She's a great artist.
She got that song called Slide.
Slide.
YG is fire.
No,
Kids
that
be singing
song.
that.
I was with, oh God, I forget. I saw Black perform at a festival.
Black is good.
Black is incredible.
So I was so confused. It's just like
Why?
the beats are so slow. He's just like, he's not really like rapping. Like, it's just like, you got to realize that me listening to R&B is like me
Nigga.
listening. Like if I went to India and turned on the radio there,
India.
that's just as confusing to me as like modern day
tripping.
R&B.
You need some soul
I have
in your system,
no
man.
frame of
Please
reference
give
for
it to him.
You need some soul in your system, man.
Pause. But I don't know.
I
It's
feel
just-
like you're
it's-
missing out on a lot.
You missing out on a lot of R&B.
But I've like listened
You
to
don't
it.
fuck
I
with Chris
I
Brown?
don't-
One of the
I mean,
goats?
I couldn't. Besides the Double Mint song, I don't think I could name a song.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't
Nigga.
listen to it.
Nigga. Oh my God.
I'm just being real. But you saying that to me is like me being shocked that you don't know a Smashing Pumpkins song.
Nigga, you're in hip hop. You just said, fuck it, I'm just gonna listen to rap.
R&B, but that's me my whole life. Like that's what I was always into. I was into rap. I'm not into R&B.
Have you gave R&B a try?
I mean, I've been hearing it on the radio and shit throughout my whole life.
Can
and
I
I've
send you a
never
playlist?
once felt interested or felt like intrigued enough.
Can I send you a playlist and you give it a
Yeah,
try?
sure. I'll try it out.
All right.
I just, for me, it's
No more
just
R. Kelly, though.
completely foreign.
No more
R.
R.
Kelly's
Kelly,
been
no.
stricken from the playlist.
R. Kelly is stricken, cat.
I could fuck with. I mean, like there. Okay, I've listened to
Nah,
plenty of
nah,
R&B.
leave
I've
R.
listened
Kelly
to plenty
out
of R. Kelly in my life.
No, leave R. Kelly out of it.
Does he count?
R. Kelly is right now. No.
What? So
He's not gonna be on Space Jam 2. I tell you
you're
that.
canceling R. Kelly? Like why? Why can't we just let him
What?
rock?
Are you
Nigga, did you see what R.
Are you
Kelly
But I'm
did?
saying musically, like you can't listen to the music.
Bro.
I don't even believe you. I see people fucking playing R. Kelly in the club, and people go crazy for it.
I
and
plead the fifth.
if you're gonna cancel him, you gotta cancel Michael Jackson.
I'm not canceling Michael Jackson. I don't
See?
believe that shit.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't believe that shit.
I'm not so invested in the genre that I'm gonna not listen to an artist
Let me tell you
because they
something.
did something
If
nasty.
you have Surviving,
Like, I'm
if they can
so
make
on the
two-
outside. What the fuck do I care?
Listen, if they can make 2 seasons of you fucking with underage women,
Yep.
that's a whole nother monster. They
Yeah.
have Surviving R. Kelly season 2, nigga.
No, I agree. It's grimy as fuck.
Now-
But for me, in terms of R&B songs
I don't
that
believe
I've
Michael
heard in my
Jackson
life,
shit.
I probably heard like 10 R&B songs in my life. And
which-
probably
which
like
are they?
8 of them are R. Kelly. So I'd say for me, if I leave R. Kelly behind, I just the whole genre is
And
done
what
for me. I'm
made
gonna
you
have
listen to R. Kelly in the first place?
He was just on the radio.
So you only listen to what? First of all, what radio station do you listen to?
None now, but I mean, as a youngin during the late '90s or early 2000s, I was like at least exposed to the radio a lot. The radio was playing around me and whatnot.
Man, let me tell you something. You got to get some soul at them.
Sometimes
That's why I'm here. I
I'll listen to like
understand that.
Motown, like Aretha Franklin. I'm just
That's
very,
booming.
I'm very disconnected from everything that's happened in R&B. Let's say for the past 20 years, maybe 15.
So you don't know
That's
my nigga Trey
crazy.
Songz.
Never listened to him.
You said no to CB already. Nigga, no Jeremiah.
No.
SZA's
never
amazing.
Heard. Never. I could not name a Jeremiah song besides the one with 50 Cent.
He has so many good songs.
I have no clue. Nothing. No knowledge at all. And I'm not just saying that.
I believe you, nigga, but I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm gonna give you a playlist.
I would love to know, like, what are the albums that I should listen to? So because I'm
R&B is a feeling, man.
And I'm gonna take notes and I'm gonna tell you why it doesn't appeal to me, because I would at least like to be able to communicate the fact that I don't give a fuck about it.
How about we do this? We should do a stream where you're just listening to fucking. I'll listen to Smush Pumpkin, whatever the fuck you just said.
Smush.
I don't know.
I have no idea what Smush
I don't know.
Pumpkins is.
I'll listen to the type of music, and Josh was talking about that shit before. I'll listen to the type of music, and I'll give you some R&B. You listen to that shit. I want to get your fucking reaction, because it's gonna hit you. I gave Dolly Parton a try for you.
I've gone my whole life, and it hasn't hit me yet. No, and I agree, that was big of you. But going forward, I just don't really. I feel like if I was gonna become an R&B guy, it would already happen.
No.
I don't know. I just feel like there's sometimes when you're at home cooking, or I don't know. I don't think you take a bath, but like if you take a bath, there's just like times where you don't want to listen to Migos.
But I don't listen to music all the time. Like, I listen to podcasts way more than I listen to music.
But it's the vibe though. You with your woman. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna put on no fucking turned up shit when you with your woman if you want to get her in that mood.
Does.
Yeah, no, I don't. We don't like put on. I don't like have like a sexy.
You gotta play shit on like Take It Down.
But you have like a sexy
Here
playlist.
we are.
Play my sexy playlist
in this room.
Like you have a sex playlist?
Yes.
I don't have that. I just never have
get all that shit.
That's really interesting.
That's the vibe right there.
You're making me imagine like
Knocking
something I've
boots,
never thought
nigga.
about, which is like when a girl comes over, oh, you got like a girl playlist. Like, oh, I got songs for the ladies.
That's what make them fall in love.
I've never hung out with a girl who tried to talk to me about R&B. I've never hung out with a girl who tried to put me onto this. Like,
well, not now, because I fuck with Lena.
But I also,
my peoples.
if they were trying to put me onto it, I probably wouldn't have really noticed. But I'm a rap guy. I'm interested in rap.
Yes, but listen, you got to understand, rap and R&B go hand in hand. It's the same.
Not the rap I like.
What type of rap you like?
The shit that doesn't have R&B singers on the hook, because my whole life the songs I've been skipping on the albums that I love are the songs that have R&B singers on the hook.
Now. Most of the rap is melodic now.
And that's okay. I can listen to Polo G album. I love that, but I don't need to hear fucking Trey songs on a hook.
Polo G cadence is, you can say, is rap and kind of R&B. You feel me? A Boogie is kind of rap and it's kind of R&B at the end of the day.
But it's rap enough that I stay
So
interested.
you don't listen to the Drake songs that are not rap?
No.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I'll
man?
listen to them. I'll hear them once or twice, but those are never going to be the songs that I listen to repeatedly.
You just have such a like blinders on that you need to.
It's not.
I think he doesn't want to listen.
No. You guys are wrong. You're saying that I'm ignorant. You're saying that I'm stubborn. It's not that. I just actually have listened to a ton of R&B in my life. Like
R. Kelly.
Like I've listened to it enough to know that I'm just not interested.
R. Kelly ain't the nigga, man. You should be listening to.
There are albums that I've listened to, 40 times in my life. And every single time after the first listen, I skip the slow songs. I don't want to hear slow music. I'm not here for it. That's not why I'm listening to the music.
Even in like the 2000s, you didn't like Ashanti or anything like that?
I mean, I know the songs with Ja Rule, they're on the radio, but no, I never felt the need to dig into the catalog.
But I mean, you're not even dig into the catalog, but if you're at the club and they have that on, you don't.
Okay, but there's a big difference between like being down with an Ashanti and Ja Rule song that you hear at the club, which is basically a rap song for the record. She's just doing a hook. And it's also one of the biggest songs of that generation of maybe like the 10 years. We still all know that song by heart.
Okay, so Drake has a million of them.
Right, but that's one thing. To want to do a bubble bath and listen to the new Her album.
Who said a bubble bath?
She did. That's very foreign to me.
She's a woman. That's what they do.
Bubble baths.
But I don't do bubble baths. Do you?
No, but I will.
Why? What's going to happen?
What's wrong with doing a bubble bath?
It feels
I just
good.
I'm personally not interested in it. If I had a half hour to kill, I'm going to do almost anything before I think, I'll take a bubble bath and listen to this new R&B
what if you was
album.
What was you giving? If you get a massage, you may want to hear R&B.
I get massages all the time. I put on like the Joe Rogan podcast or the Joe Budden podcast. I listen to the shit I would normally listen to.
I like to have a bitch on the passenger side. And I'm bumping that shit, you feel me, playing the R&B. You know what I'm saying? She getting tipsy and shit like that. Take her to the crib. That's what you do.
I don't know. I mean, you guys are just telling me like things that I could do while listening to it, but you're not really telling me why I would like one song.
Give me another song. I'll give it a try.
I only know one Dolly Parton song. I'm not really a Dolly Parton guy.
Who's your favorite? Okay, give me a song that you say, I know AD's not going to like this. I gave Pop a try. I like Maroon 5. Maroon 5 is fire.
I could not name one Maroon 5 song. I have no idea what they produce or who they are or whatever. Like, you have to understand that.
So you don't listen to shit.
I listen to rap.
Okay.
And
You
it's like
I think you listen to podcasts. That's
Okay,
what's
right now.
happening.
And I listen to
how about
podcasts
this?
probably more
Who
than
is
rap
your
now.
first top right now? Who is your top 10 current rappers right now?
I mean,
Just give me 3 that pop up out your
I
head.
just don't even care enough
You
about
said
that
Polo G.
question to answer. It's just not
But
interesting
you
to me
said
to
you
like
like
rank
rap.
what I'm listening to.
You said you like rap. What rappers do you like?
In terms of like rappers that I've been listening to lately,
Yes. What are you feeling when you in the car? What do you ride to? Beyond podcasts.
Podcasts.
No, I said beyond podcasts.
okay, the 42 Doug album I listened to
Fire.
a bunch of times.
All right.
I listened to the Polo G album a bunch of
Fire.
times. And I'm gonna have to actually tell you because to be honest, and I listened to the Gunna album mad times.
Okay, fire.
There's probably more. I gotta go back to the
What, 5
Cam
years
Girl's
later?
dog is like mean mother.
Okay, recently I played that Lil Keed mixtape from last year that
Okay.
I really liked. I was listening to the Rumor mixtape, Drug Dealing is whatever the fuck that is. Okay, a bunch of Griselda, the Freddie Gibbs Alfredo album I listened to a bunch of times. I listened to the Nav album. Randomly, I went back and listened to the Mike Tyson album by Sean Price, rest in peace. Key Glock, always listen to a lot of Key Glock. I listened to the Run the Jewels album a couple of times, and I listened to the new No Plug Brick Atlanta mixtape, which I can't really remember much about,
Okay.
to be totally honest.
What
and
you say you listen to rap?
I listened to a couple songs off of the fucking Weekend album, but didn't really.
That's R&B, nigga.
No, I listened to it and didn't like it. Actually, to be honest with you,
I like
me,
that album.
me and Lena listened to it and didn't really get into it.
Okay, what is Lena like?
I was listening to the Chef G album. She listens to country. She listens
Chef
to pop.
G hard.
I listened to the new Chef G album. I listened to the Drake album a bunch of times. I listened to the Draco album a bunch of times. I listened to the Rod Wave album, the new Lil Yachty. I listened to Doja Cat because she was going so viral for being called racist that I just like wanted to actually listen to her and see what I thought of her. I interviewed Young Buck and then I listened to the new Young Buck. I listened to the new Future when that came out. I listened to a bunch of Young Dro when I interviewed him.
Fire. I like the Future album a
I
lot.
went through a brief Tupac phase where I was listening to all the old Tupac albums for a
Post
little
a person to
bit.
Pac.
So I listened to the new Lil Durk. I listened to the new
Fire.
Young Boy when that came out a
Fire.
little while ago. The Uzi album.
All right, nigga, I want a discography now. Okay,
But
you
this
got
is
your point.
This is what I'm saying though. Like this is actually like what that's like the last couple months probably or even month.
You just named like 20 rappers. You fuck with it.
But that's what I listened to. I'm like I only skipped over a couple artists in there, but they were like rock. Like Billy Bragg for some reason I had to skip.
don't know who that is.
Exactly because I don't really
Yeah, I
think
have no
that's.
idea.
You probably wouldn't go crazy for it either.
I don't know, bro. I'm not
I
biased
can send you
to
some
music.
Billy Bragg songs.
Bro, I'm gonna send you some R&B songs, bro. It's crazy too, cause shout out to my homie G Perico. Every Sunday he sends me an R&B playlist, a different one.
Oh wow.
Every Sunday, it's just like vibes though.
It's just so
Sunday
confusing
vibes.
to me because I don't know.
I want
just,
that playlist.
It's just fire. I'm gonna
It's
send it to
hard for me to imagine G Perico just like posted up in some room or in his room.
People like R&B.
People
I know.
love
I
R&B.
I don't know any of them. That's my problem. Is that like of the guys that I've been hanging out with
What do
my
you think
entire
we-
life?
what do you think we do?
let me
We
see.
fuck
my
the
entire
NWA?
life. Every guy I've been hanging out with, I have never had anyone say, "Oh, let's listen to this R&B album."
You don't
It's just
you don't
never
listen
happened.
to R&B with your homie.
But even like I've never heard one of my friends be like, "Oh, I was listening to this R&B album," and like that's just I've never kicked it with people who listen to it. So to me, it is completely foreign.
I wonder if Vel listened to it.
Vel listens
really
to R&B
doubt
for
it.
sure.
I think they just don't talk to you about it because you'll just like.
No,
tell
but
them
I'm
that
not.
they're
I wasn't
stupid.
like born feeling this way. It's just I literally don't know anyone who listens to R&B. So to me, it's totally foreign.
you know
and
too,
then I
be-
find out that like, oh, you listen to it, but you've never said one thing about any R&B artist to me ever. You know
We
who
don't
else I
talk
saw in
about
Vegas
R&B.
at that fest? Miguel.
Fire.
Another amazing artist.
No emotion. Did nothing for me.
You never asked me about R&B. That's
Because
why.
I don't give a fuck. But
I
you could
know.
like you could try to talk to me about it, but it's just not. I just want to know. There's got to be a lot of people who agree with me in the chat.
No.
Like there's got to be a lot of
there-
people who don't think what I'm saying is
There's
crazy.
no chat.
Right,
Okay,
but there will be comments.
I'm gonna give you this, right? For the kids who ain't having sex yet, for the boys that ain't getting no ass right now, you don't care about R&B. When I was 14, 13, I didn't care about R&B like that. You feel me? But when I start getting some pussy, then I start putting that shit on because that sets the fucking mood.
But so you think it's weird that I've been like fucking girls listening to my friends' music my whole life?
No, because I have a homeboy who still to this day, he's in prison, but he used to always say, I don't like R&B. I fuck the hyphy music. So
Yeah. No, me too.
I'm
like
not,
I'm gonna fuck my girl. I'm gonna put on like actually like the rap music that I listen to.
he would put on
normally.
hyphy music. He would put on That's My Word.
But I also
Nigga smacking
don't.
like
I don't
that.
put on rap. I don't put on music to fuck. Like
See, it's the difference between fucking and making love. You
I
put on
don't. I
R&B
don't
to
put
make
on music
love,
to do either.
but you love your girl, right?
Right.
You have a baby on the way, right?
Right, but we don't put on music to fuck. Like, there's not even a thing to
Imagine
play
it was
music
like,
in our room.
It's our anniversary. Our anniversary.
What is that?
I'm gonna put you on the playlist.
What the fuck
man.
is that?
It's a fire song.
But we don't even have. This is making me realize we don't even have a thing in our room to play music.
I just play it off my phone.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
you
fuck it.
fuck to music off your phone?
That's
I
fine.
don't have,
I mean,
it's
you
better
don't-
than silence.
So you just don't care about sound quality at all? You're
you,
an adult.
you clearly don't care about anything.
No, I do. I mean, I just don't fuck to music.
All you
But when
care
I
about
listen
is
to
Dolly
music, I
Parton
listen to
and
good
Smush
quality music.
Pumpkins.
Wait, but you guys really like. This is really like this is way more disturbing than me not being familiar with R&B. You guys are in your home where you've had months or years to create a functioning system by which you can play music while you're fucking, which apparently you guys are so into, and you play it off your phone.
Everybody
If I
listens to
have
music
to.
when they're fucking.
You don't have to. This is your house. You've had all the time in the world to set up a music listening
I have
scenario.
my TV. I have my surround sound with the
And you still play it off your phone?
No, I'm just saying if ain't nothing available, I'm gonna play it on the phone.
But you don't
Yeah, exactly.
Bluetooth it to your phone. What you're saying
I
not
go
anything
to a-
available. It's your home.
If I go to a hotel and I don't have no portable speaker, I might fuck off the phone.
If you're in a hotel, completely different situation.
That's what I'm saying.
If I was fucking in the park, yeah, I'm gonna play it off my phone because I don't have a fucking Bluetooth system there. But in terms of the only places where I listen to music are in back on my computer and in my car. And in both of those scenarios, the music sounds very, very good because there's big fucking speakers, whatever.
So you don't go to barbecues or nothing? I mean, the music is being played?
I mean, do I go to barbecues? Not really, but do I go to barbecues and control the music? Absolutely not.
I'm gonna bring you to a real barbecue.
That's cool, but I mean, I don't, you know.
You're not gonna come?
No, I'll go. I'm just saying that, like, I'm not, like, I don't have, like, a really big, like, barbecuing schedule. Like, oh, like, all these barbecues. Next Saturday,
like,
it's gonna be crazy. I gotta go to 4 barbecues.
Hey, nigga, pull up. Come on. You'll get you some gumbo. You feel me? Some ribs.
You're
some
acting
macaroni
like
and cheese.
barbecues are a lot more fun than what barbecues are actually
Barbecues
like.
are amazing.
Yeah, you
There's
can get some
food.
food.
White
It's cool.
people barbecues are different because the food don't taste as good.
You're right.
You got to
because
get the soul food.
Josh had a little barbecue at his house the other day, and
There was no seasoning?
we were all geeked up about the burgers that he was making and shit. And they were, to be honest, they're pretty like standard burgers. You're talking about gumbo.
Gumbo,
That
nigga.
sounds amazing.
Josh didn't make gumbo.
Macaroni. Did you see what my mom made for Father's Day?
No.
She made salmon, right? Real salmon though. Salmon. She made bacon. She made macaroni and cheese. She made
I'm getting hungry.
banana pudding. She made gumbo. She made like all this shit. Like that's what you're gonna get out at a black barbecue.
I want banana pudding right
Banana pudding fire.
now. Yum.
I mean, you're looking at me now like banana pudding is in the same category as R&B. I've had banana pudding. I just haven't listened to her.
Have you had black banana pudding? Not that store-bought bullshit.
But I've had a lot of good banana pudding, and be honest, at some really, really nice restaurants.
Should we segue to the
Yeah,
next
it is
topic,
something. It
guys?
is.
What is the next topic? And I also just want to say,
Anything else?
normalize never having listened to R&B.
You're the only
Defund R&B.
I don't
You're the
fuck
only
with
person
that.
in my life that ever has
Fuck
said
that.
Are you
I
serious?
swear to God.
I can name so many people that you know that would say exactly what I'm saying about never
Like
having
who?
gone
Who?
out.
House
and listened
phone?
to- Began was just here. He's in that category.
Yeah, but you guys are just.
But that's the type of person that I've been hanging out with
Maybe
my
it's-
whole life.
I
Maybe
want to
it's
ask
the
House Phone,
BMX
does he listen to
community that
R&B?
doesn't like
Definitely. It's the
R&B.
and it's
Does House
really,
Phone listen to R&B? I'm asking.
He definitely listens to
At least-
R&B.
okay.
But
cool.
but he'll cap. He'll cap like you're capping and act like he listens to it way more than he actually does
Nigga,
because he
I
wants to
listen to
seem
all
like
the
he has
time.
eclectic music taste.
My nigga, I be driving around, listen to fucking
Show me
Mariah
your
Carey.
most recent played music in your fucking Apple Music, and I want to see if there's any R&B present because I bet there isn't.
Bet.
Okay.
Hold on.
Free Joe Exotic by BFB to Pac-Man.
Nigga, look, I like that song.
You put
Look,
that in your Apple
look,
Music.
Sade, right?
Ooh, he got the side A.
Mariah Carey.
All right.
Montel Jordan.
I'm not gonna lie.
Shabba Ranks.
I
The
listened-
new Tiana Taylor album, nigga.
So good.
Never
Let's
heard
go.
her. I still
Fire.
never heard her.
Fire. You crazy.
I
Tiana
met,
Taylor
I
album is
met her
amazing.
and I thought she was just a model. I was really glad that I didn't say
No,
anything
nigga, Tiana
further.
Taylor is
Has
amazing.
amazing music.
Look, old R&B. Unfinished Business, Gregory Abbott, Leon Bridges, which is fire. Stupid ass this song. I ain't gonna say it on there
9 to
because I got
5 by Dolly
yeah,
Parton,
because
very
you got it. Even
Creeping
singing in the
9 to
fucking rain
5.
by Gene Kelly, man. I'm listening to different shit. The
The
Bee Gees, Staying
you
Alive.
listen to Staying Alive.
I love that song.
Staying alive.
Look, John B. Don't say Genuine.
I saw
Lonely Day.
John B had a DJ Vlad interview and I wasn't sure who he was.
Nigga, Mint Condition. I don't know how to say that shit. Elton John, nigga, look. Georgia Smith, Kiana
I
Lede,
love Georgia Smith.
Aaliyah,
Georgia
Usher
Smith,
Lil Jon.
I
It's
only
so
know who she
good.
is because people
So
were
good.
talking
There's
about how
more
Drake
R&B.
was dating her like right when she turned.
So
There was a
good.
Trap Lil Ross video about Drake and her. I never heard of her until then.
Now look, let me show you the playlist. Though,
I get it.
But was she like? Is she a big artist?
It's huge.
Yes.
I have no idea.
Very
Straight
good.
R&B. Look at this shit. I have a straight R&B fucking playlist. There's hundreds of songs in this motherfucker.
That's cool. I have Rap Caviar right here. It looks just
That's
like
cool.
that. No,
but you got to get the R&B.
I don't really think I do, but send me the playlist because I will listen to it. But
I
no,
want to know what
a friend
the
of mine.
result this is.
No, I would love to make a whole video about why R&B sucks, but
Oh,
I
don't do
honestly
that.
don't
Don't do
know.
that.
Like I haven't heard it enough to even have an opinion about it. Except
I'm about to say, at least you can say that.
anytime I run into it, it doesn't stick to the inside of my
How
brain.
do I send a playlist? I'm going to send it to both of y'all.
I really don't know.
Never send a playlist. I feel like you could copy the link or something like that.
Yeah. Playlist. It's got to be the ... button, right? Yeah. Share.
Oh, share.
Yeah, I want that.
Share. Who the fuck are all these people? Who are all these people that you apparently text more than me? I feel like we
on
text
there,
a lot,
look.
but I'm looking through the whole list. It's all these random
Why
ass
are you
names.
jealous?
I'm just like, damn, I feel like you'd be pretty close to the top of mine. Pause.
Let me see.
Oh, if I go to send a text?
Let me see.
Okay.
Let me send a
Let's see
text.
what happens.
Like you send a picture or something.
Okay.
Let's see.
All right. We'll use a picture, random ass. Wait.
No, you
Someone's
do it.
calling.
You have to do it like, all right, you're right. I'll take this image.
And you didn't save my number.
Oh, wait.
Rude.
But this image is one of the most recently saved in my phone.
This is more the serious
Freddie
shit. One
Gibbs' Instagram story. These N-words definitely had sex, and it's a picture of
I saw.
Akademiks.
I saw. I was gonna say.
He told me about the beef that is actually pretty serious. So there's that. At least we don't think he's totally capping.
I don't know about the
Although
beef.
I don't think he necessarily really understands the nature of a podcast, which is kind of like no matter what someone's trying to call you about, it's not as important as a podcast. Like the podcast, in order to exist, really has to sort of seem like it's more important than anything else.
Yeah,
In
I
order
mean-
for people like, but he's new. He doesn't get
I mean,
that.
I don't know exactly what this beef is about, or not beef, or news, or whatever.
It's
going
pretty
on.
serious, but it's also.
I don't know.
Okay, so these are who comes up when I go to do it.
That's fucking OT. He said, if you're not on my fucking album, you're gonna know why.
Josh, Lena, the news
send it
group
to me?
chat,
Let me see.
Johnny Shipes, because I was just texting him. He normally wouldn't be at the top. Brandon Began, Propane, TJ X6's manager, Black Dave, AD,
Okay.
House Phone, my Pokemon group chat,
Oh my God.
Wyatt Bray, the Kendama guy,
I like
a couple
how
other
I'm not
Kendama
on
guys.
there.
Well, no, but you're in a group chat with House Phone.
I kind of got happy. I thought it said Black Adam at first.
I'm with both of the Adams
They
today.
definitely had sex. I just had to
Did
say
y'all get
this.
the
This was
playlist
very funny to
text
me.
message check,
I
please?
did.
I got it, I
think I
got
saw
it.
it. Yeah.
Woo, watching you. Ooh.
No, he was killing him with the one-liners on
Yeah.
like his quote tweets.
You call
Oh
this
my God.
straight R&B, but
And I- listen,
STR8RNB.
Yes. Listen, and I have an album on there, so I did a whole album with Eric Bellinger. So I got my own R&B type shit on there.
Who is that?
You don't know who fucking Eric Bellinger is?
Amazing artist.
Even Trev is looking at me like I'm tripping.
That nigga from SAC. He don't know no R&B.
No, he's looking like I'm tripping because I don't know.
Oh, he tripping, huh, Trevor? Yeah. Never mind, my bad.
he's on
I
your
take it
side.
back.
I mean, I don't know.
What'd you guys think about Pop Smoke cover art?
I'm going to make you,
trying to
for the
segue
record
from
though,
this.
I'm going to make you a playlist of a lot of hardcore songs I like, and we're going to have that conversation where I'm going to come in here and we're going to talk. I'm going to talk about
That's
what I learned about
said.
R&B,
Let's film
and
it.
you're going to learn about
Let's
Earth Crisis.
film it.
Yes, let's do it.
Smush pumpkins and earth mices.
Earth Mices. What is that?
I don't know.
Earth Crisis is like one of my formative bands from my youth. They were the ones who convinced
Earth
me to stop
Crybabies.
eating. I was a vegan 14-year-old because of them.
So
for
how
like
would you
3-4
feel if I
years.
said all the shit you listened to was stupid?
But I didn't say R&B is stupid. I
You
just said
said
it's not
defund
for
R&B.
me. I was just joking. But I'm just
Right.
saying it's not for me. And
You've been saying it's stupid for
if
the
you
whole
listen to
time.
all the hardcore bands that I grew up listening to, and your opinion is like,
Bro, it's probably gonna make me bust some windows out
no,
of the car.
it's gonna make you say it's cool, but I'm not gonna listen to it probably. That's how I feel about R&B. It's like it's
you'll
cool.
be surprised.
I respect the people involved. I met Jaquise one time. Queese, however the fuck you say it. I met him one
Jaquise
time.
is hard.
Never listened to him, but nice guy. Yeah. When I heard YK Osiris say like he's the king of R&B, I'm gonna be honest with you. I never listened to YK Osiris, but I don't know. He might be, for as far as I know.
YK Osiris is talented.
I never really listened to him like that.
You gotta understand too, R&B is not a big genre these days. So the R&B artists really stick out that come out. I would say that.
I was hearing Joe Budden and them talk about going to like an R&B festival and like talking about how beautiful
Yes.
the girls were and shit. And I'm like, holy fuck,
Yes.
that's a brilliant
He-
idea.
he
I never
loves-
would have thought of that in a million
He
years.
loves the homie Ye Ali. Joe Budden always posts his shit.
Who's that?
He's a dope artist, dope writer. Bro, the fucking R&B concerts, that's where you get the girls.
I've never been to one, so I want to know. I remember I had that feeling one time when I went to a pop punk concert. I went to a
pop what?
Pop punk.
It's like the white version of what he's talking
Pop
about.
what? Yeah, it is. It is for real. No, who was it? It was
Pop
maybe
punk,
brand
pumpkin
new.
I do like pop punk.
It was maybe a brand new concert, and like for me, the only shows and concerts I've ever been to in my life were like hardcore shows and rap shows.
All dudes.
Yeah, all dudes. Like, I mean, there's just not chicks who go to that. I went to this brand new concert. The year is maybe 2009. Oh my God. It was all girls. Mind blowing. I'm like, I don't even really fuck with this music like that. Like, brand new's cool, but like, man.
Bro, when I go to the white clubs, bro, I like the songs they play. It's a different
What the
mood.
fuck do they play at the white clubs?
They be playing shit like, it's like, I don't want to say it's like techno, but you go in there, you got to show
EDM.
me love, shit like that. You feel me?
Yeah,
I like the
that
white
shit
bitches too.
The one of the best days in my life, which I came to regret this. No, definitely, I don't want to say one of the best days of my life. But there was a moment where I went to a bar in Brooklyn, and it was maybe 2012, and they were playing all Gucci Mane. And it was like a white hipster bar. They're playing all trap rap. And I was so happy because I was like, I've never been to a bar in LA that is like just a grimy like hipster bar and then playing mad gangster rap. I'm like, this is the best soundtrack I could like this. It made me really happy. That quickly became so played out that I really probably couldn't have that
happiest
attitude
day of my
about it
life
at this point. What?
Is when you invited me to your virtual baby shower.
And then didn't invite you to the actual birthday party that we had like a month later.
I'll take what I can get.
We only had like 5 people come to that one because she's scared of COVID. But yeah. Anyway, what else should we talk about?
Anything else, please? Pop Smoke.
Pop Smoke, the album
RP
cover.
West Side.
Yeah, the cover looked pretty ugly, but I was pretty impressed by Twitter's ability to actually like make them want to change the album cover almost immediately.
I mean, the outrage was very loud.
The question
Loud
is
and
really
clear.
like, can you get to the point of being as big as Virgil without getting some kind of outbreak of criticism at some point? Because if you really look at it, like, okay, let's look at Kanye. Kanye and Virgil are very similar. You can sort of compare them in many ways. Kanye has given us so many reasons to criticize him, so many reasons for him to be canceled, etc.
No.
Yeah, okay, he supports Donald Trump. End of story. There's so many things that Kanye has done that nobody else in the culture would ever get away with. With Virgil, not very controversial in comparison. Like Virgil, like the things that you could point to that even Virgil's getting canceled for, what? Not donating enough publicly.
They're not canceling him.
Maybe not being good enough at graphic design.
He's not
No.
being canceled. They're just saying they don't like that. You know what I'm saying? When he donated the $50, no one said Virgil was canceled. They just made jokes of the situation.
I've seen a lot of people really, really full of rage.
That-
at
I ain't seen
Virgil.
nobody about
And he's
cancel.
been criticized from like the beginning for stealing like designs and ideas
really?
and concepts and stuff.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I
Right.
mean, I've seen the pictures.
I just think that at a certain point you get big enough that you just become a big ass fucking target. And I feel like that's kind of what we're seeing happen with Virgil, where for a long time people were willing to give him a pass, like, oh, whatever. They just weren't as inquisitive. Now they want to see every off-white design, every collection he puts out, etc., be some brand new groundbreaking shit. I feel like a year or two ago, if Virgil had designed that album cover, that people just wouldn't have really necessarily like felt like it was so important to have a negative opinion
I think they
about
want
it.
to break down another black man. This is conspiracy.
I don't even think it's that much of a conspiracy. I think it's something like, for a while, the community was looking at Virgil like he was like the next greatest thing to come from the culture. And then you achieve so much, you get rich as fuck, you get kind of
He's
disconnected from
doing
the culture.
dope shit though. The shoes was fire.
But-
Every shoe.
But then now you have people coming out in droves wanting to take him down because he's been so successful and
It's
because
crazy.
he came from the
But
organic.
that's anybody. There's people that fucking probably hate your guts, Adam. And you didn't do nothing to them, right?
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So you're gonna get to a certain point where people, anything that you say, they're gonna say, cancel him, cancel him, cancel him, cancel him. Do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. At the end of the day, and Virgil, you gotta think about it. There's not too many black designers, right? That is out there that the culture really fucks with. Like, he runs the shit at Louis Vuitton too. On
Yeah.
top of that,
He's
So-
too big. He's too big that it's inevitable that people are going to want to try to bring him down.
But do I think that he tried to like, oh, do the Pop Smoke shit like that. No, that probably was his vision at the end of the day, and people don't like it.
I have a feeling that album cover, I feel like maybe the way the physical copy would look would be different than the way that it looked when we just saw an image of the album cover, because you ever get a CD and it's kind of got like
a little glittery,
sort of like shiny crap on and stuff, and that's what they use for the graphics, is like the fucking diamonds and all this shit. And it's, to me, I feel like that album cover, if you were to go pick up a copy at fucking Best Buy and see which I don't think they sell CDs anymore, but if you were to have a physical copy,
picking up the physical copy,
this fool is at Best Buy every day, just standing on the corner.
Why though?
Stealing iPhones? I don't know.
Never mind. I was gonna say
he got to connect. But basically, I feel like the album cover. But I mean, nowadays you are designing it for Instagram, because if the album cover is gonna look dope in person, it's like nobody's ever gonna fucking see that.
Everybody is missing the point.
What?
The point is that Pop, rest in smoke, real nigga. This is his post-humanist. How you say that?
Posthumous.
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 This is his album. This is his legacy at the end of the day. This is how we're supposed to honor him. So if the album cover don't look like we're honoring Pop Smoke, that's where the public outcry is at the end of the day. 50 just posted up a whole bunch of covers. Like, I'm gonna let the fans rate it. Which ones that you like. And I feel like at this point right now, people are so invested in the art cover that everybody's gonna be torn, and they're not gonna like. Everybody's not going to agree on everything that they like.
But okay, let's throw this out there. I put forth a theory that like people basically just want to tear Virgil down unfairly at this point.
There's a little bit of that.
I don't think that. You deal with a death is different at the end of the day.
Right, but I think that you do have a point where I think that there's an extent to which both of the most obvious L's that Virgil has taken over the past couple months, the posting about the donation, even though we later found out that he actually donated way more than the $50 or whatever, the way he played it, the way he put it out there was in such a way that I feel like, he maybe could have not approached it that way. And then also with this one, I feel like Virgil didn't like this album cover. Like, I could have told you if I had seen this album cover before it came out, I probably could have told you, like, I don't think that's going to go over too good. I don't think this is the one.
Let me tell you something. If Pop was still alive and he dropped and posted that album cover on his page, no one would have a problem with it like that. It would not be this outcry right now.
Because nobody normally gives a fuck about anybody's album cover that much. There's so many trash album covers.
They do and they don't. But the fact that this is his legacy, he's not here, is that we need to honor him to the fullest extent. You know what I'm saying? So if the fans don't feel like this ain't honoring Pop right, that's why motherfuckers is mad. I don't think nobody's trying to tear Virgil down. There may be some people like, okay, this is the perfect time to try to tear him down. But for the most part, I felt the same way. I said, I don't fuck with this album cover. And Pop was my homie at the end of the day.
I don't fuck with that album cover, but this is the thing that would have kept me from tweeting it and saying, hey, this album cover sucks, is that Virgil has so much respect. And also, Pop Smoke is dead. Rest in peace, Pop Smoke. Those are the two things that would have made me not say anything. Is number one, to say that the album cover is trash is, I mean, in a prior world that we used to live in, the album cover wouldn't have been able to be changed. So saying that the album cover was trash would have just been like, oh, this album cover is trash for forever, because that's going to be the album cover going forward. And then also the fact that Virgil gets so much love that I wouldn't have really wanted to say anything bad about him. But, welcome to the internet where nothing is safe and people are very happy to tear Virgil down, very happy to basically say that Pop Smoke's album cover sucks. Even, I mean, people are emboldened to have opinions publicly.
Look at the effort, though. 50 went and grabbed the best, probably one of the best designers of our time right now to even make a album cover. He don't make album covers, but the fact that he went to try to grab one of the best creative minds that he knew to make an album cover shows that he really wants to memorialize him the right way.
That's facts. I'm just telling Josh to make sure that first stream is private.
And then two, just like you, I know you was close with X, right?
I probably could have done it myself.
You was close with X, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How would you feel if this was X album and you didn't fuck with the artwork?
I wouldn't say anything.
You wouldn't?
No, because that's like, if I thought that the album cover sucked, I would have thought it was disrespectful to his mother and to his fucking friends.
But you would feel a certain way, right?
I would feel it, but I wouldn't say it.
Okay, but
maybe if it was so bad that I actually thought it was disrespectful. But again, then I would probably hit her up behind the scenes and say something.
But
if I really
in
felt
your
that
heart,
way.
if you seen something that you don't think was memorializing him the right way, you wouldn't fuck with it, right? because you have a personal connection with that person.
But at the end of the day, like the extent to which it's memorializing him in a bad way is just that graphically it's not really appealing to people. It's not really like disrespectful. I could understand if it was like a really like weird graphic of Pop Smoke in a casket or some shit. People didn't like it because it was creepy.
You got to understand how big Pop Smoke was for New York. He was the new guy. Like the whole city was behind him. They were pushing him to be, you know what I'm saying, like the next Biggie damn near. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So the fact that he loses his life, people don't play when it come to him in New York. You feel me?
But I feel like it was the Twitter critics more than anybody who really like forced this change into happening. When you have all these accounts getting hundreds of thousands of retweets making fun of the album cover, that's what made it.
Look what the niggas did to Sonic. The Sonic trailer comes out. Motherfuckers say, this is ugly. It's disgusting. At the end of the day, what do the people do? They change it. It makes fans way more happy, and they end up selling fucking crazy fucking tickets at the end of the day. The fact that they're even changing Pop album, everybody that has something bad to say about the album, y'all better go buy it and support it at the end of the day. You feel what I'm saying?
Hopefully people
stream that motherfucker.
I'm excited to hear it, to be honest.
I wonder if they're going to post it before it drops on Friday.
What, the new album cover?
Well, right now, 50 has album covers he's asking the people, do they like?
Right.
So I seen like 3 or 4 of them, and they all were like,
I think
doper.
People were mad at the merch too that came with it, the shirt.
Oh, really? I didn't
Yeah,
see
because
that.
he designed a shirt too, Virgil.
I mean, but everybody's doing that now.
Like, okay, to put it in perspective, I remember when Usher came and did the interview about his last project. Virgil had designed the merch, and I was looking at the merch because Usher gave it to me, which I was pretty excited about, just because I'm like, wow, I'm getting like Virgil.
And
Abloh
Usher's R&B, by the way.
Right, and that was kind of an awkward interview to get ready for, because I was like really having to learn everything about Usher from fucking ground step
Make me
zero.
wanna be the one.
Well, see, I know that one. And wanna make love in this club, in this club.
The fact that you do the lumberjack to R&B music, yeah.
No, but when he gave me that Virgil Abloh design merch, and I remember looking at it and thinking like, kind of whack to me, but I would never say that publicly, because why am I gonna diss Virgil's shit publicly? Like I don't want to smoke with him.
I mean,
don't diss his shit.
before we came here today, I was trying to like look up more coverage on the Pop Smoke cover that Virgil did, and there's so many YouTube videos on like the reason why Virgil Abloh ruined fashion, and like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, they've been hating on him for a while.
They
now.
just hating. When you on top,
Yeah.
they gonna hate you. They hated Michael Jackson, and he didn't do nothing. I stand by that nigga.
All right. Speaking of being on top and being hated, we definitely should probably talk about the Shane Dawson shit, don't you think?
I don't even know who
I
Shane
looked,
Dawson
up,
is.
I
See, there you
looked up
go.
a lot about it too.
I'm going to educate AD today about the real, true white culture that me and Kim live inside.
I don't claim that.
You
I'm
don't
about to
claim-
say, Cam, don't claim that.
I'm not claiming that.
You are very much in the gray area. That must be nice. Okay, I'm gonna just explain this to the best of my ability, because sometimes like you can really begin to understand something by teaching. Also, shout out to this dog falling asleep with this fucking dummy head on the table.
Yeah, he's been mean mugging me the whole time. I don't think Cam Girl's
likes
dog
you.
likes me. He does?
Move this. I want people to be able to really get a nice shot there. Why are you shaking?
If I was high, I'd be mad.
They shake in their dreams.
Wow.
Like he's having a dream right now.
He having
That's
a
so
dream about
beautiful.
R&B.
Probably Usher.
Okay, so basically, there's a YouTuber. Oh my god, I'm trying to figure out how far back I
I
want to
know.
go.
Wait, is
How
this
do you
the
have to explain all
motherfucker that did the
this?
Willow shit?
Yes.
Yes.
Disgusting.
So basically, Shane Dawson. I'll just start with Shane Dawson. Shane Dawson is a YouTuber. He's been huge on the platform for forever. He's just always been huge. People didn't even know he was gay for a long time. He had like girlfriends publicly or whatever. Over time, he ended up coming out of the closet. His content over the last couple of years, people would say is really, really good. Like he kind of pioneered the whole like art form of basically just making these like super in-depth sort of documentary type pieces about different people in the YouTube community, etc. And he's really sort of like become one of the main faces of what YouTube is over the past however many years. But then it basically came out that, okay, there's another YouTube makeup guy named James Charles. And last year, almost exactly 1 year ago, there was a huge controversy where basically James Charles was accused by this woman in the makeup industry named Tati Westbrook. He was accused of basically being a predator, creeping on young boys and stuff, which seemed pretty crazy because
And
at
straight
that
boys.
but at that time, James Charles was, I think, 18 or maybe 19.
And a virgin.
And still a virgin. So, I mean, that always seemed kind of weird, like how much of a predator he could possibly be at like 18 2018 or whatever. But basically, over the last year or whatever, it's come out that people were basically saying that the Shane Dawson guy basically put the battery in this Tati Westbrook girl's back to do a video exposing James Charles. Charles, to his credit, basically most of those accusations came out to not really have much merit, and he really kind of like beat that whole thing, and it seems like he's pretty popular again. But so basically, Shane Dawson put out a big statement basically indicting the entire makeup community and basically saying like, this is the most drama-filled community. Like, you guys are so fucked up. It's so fucked up how you would like tear people down and rah, rah, rah. That letter that he posted caused a huge percentage of the beauty community, the makeup community, to then start digging through all of Shane Dawson's old videos, and they found basically like every offensive joke he ever made, every offensive thing he ever did, and they already knew some basic stuff. They already knew that he had like worn blackface for fucking old music videos or whatever, like a million years ago, whatever. There's other like things that he had done that was seen as creepy or whatever, but they ended up basically finding all kinds of different stuff that just, you know, a lot of it seems really, really bad. Like, I've seen an Instagram photo where he's like with like a kid, and he's like, I love this kid. Like, just like basically like, I think I might become a pedophile.
Oh, God, he made so many of those jokes.
And like he made so many jokes that were basically the joke.
Why wasn't he canceled a long time ago?
Because back then, this was YouTube at the time, and I feel like a lot of people are sort of like intentionally ignorant about the fact that the climate was completely different, and that a lot of these jokes, like this is the thing, millions of people saw those jokes like at the time.
But wait, when did he do those podcasts though? Because I feel like that wasn't too long ago, right?
What were the podcast clips?
He did Shane and
Look at the
Friends.
dog looking at me.
Shane and Friends podcast, and I feel like it wasn't that long ago.
But what did he do that was offensive on those?
Weird ass, more pedophile shit.
Really?
Yes,
I don't know.
a lot.
There's been so much stuff that's been kind of hard to keep an eye on it. And just when you thought that the canceling of Shane Dawson was going to maybe slow up a bit, all of a sudden you got the Smith family coming for him because they found that one clip where
that's disgusting though.
But my thing is, I want to know what that whole clip is like, because they just cut it down to like 3 seconds of him making like the jerking off motion, looking at the little girl.
If that was my daughter,
it's
I
fucked
would
up.
be pissed.
I want to know what the joke he was trying to make there was, because I'm assuming that it wasn't like, oh, hey, like I actually.
But wasn't this Willow when Willow was underage?
Yeah, she's
Which
like
was
11 on the wall.
Okay, then
in this
that's
thing,
disgusting.
yeah.
Why would you even play around like that?
It's a
He
weird
just
piece
had
of
a really
shit.
weird,
You a bitch.
crude
But
sense of
you
humor.
see how people like just
It was
take it at
bad.
face value, they strip it of any context, and they say, look, this is offensive. But when I say, I want to see the context, I want to see exactly what that full clip was like. I mean, like, to you, like that in itself, wanting to see the context, wanting to see
I
the
have a
greater
daughter,
overall
so it's
picture,
different.
right? But it shouldn't be different. We're trying to judge the offensiveness of a joke, and if the joke was really that offensive, you should want to see the context. You should want to see the full picture.
I
but
felt-
you,
Nigga,
your,
what was
but look
shown-
at your reaction. You need to do a
What
little
was
self-examination
shown-
here.
what was shown
Why do
wasn't
you not want to
disgusting.
see the greater context? Because you want to be offended.
I don't want to be offended.
But then why wouldn't you want to see the greater context? Because clearly, if millions of people saw it when it came out, it can't have been that offensive at the
I have
time.
a 11-year-old daughter. If
Right.
somebody,
But you don't need to have a daughter to be offended by somebody making that joke. You know?
Period. Okay, you have a kid on the way right now, right?
Right.
If you see an 11-year-old girl, first of all, if this nigga been making pedophile jokes at the end of the day, you don't do that in front of an 11-year-old girl's picture at the end of the day. That shit ain't cool at all.
Right, but you've made a ton of offensive jokes, I could assume, throughout your life. I know I certainly have.
What offensive jokes I said?
I don't know, but I'm just saying that there's a ton of jokes that I guarantee you made in 2010 that if we were to take them and clip the beginning and clip the end and put it out there and say, this is what AD is all about. Look at this thing he said. It would completely misrepresent you as a person.
Probably.
Why do you not extend the same sympathy to him and
But
assume
you just said years he's been doing pedophile type stuff.
it was
So this is
humor,
not a
though, but
one-time
at the
thing.
time, but this is the thing. You have to understand. He had millions of subscribers who thought this was funny.
Were
at
they
the
mostly
time.
white people?
Probably large.
All right then.
Because I felt the same way about the situation as well. Because I thought, not that I want to see the whole video, but like, okay, he could be making a really weird, bad joke. And like at that time, people weren't as
Yeah, they weren't as sensitive.
No,
then.
but
If this
listen,
is-
but
this is-
wait,
I don't wanna be
wait,
It
offended
had
about
millions
nothing.
of views.
Wait, let me finish. But then I did some more research and like, it was just too much. Like it was just clip upon clip upon clip.
But that's
and
part
on
of
top
that's
that,
part of the strategy is that they will find a million clips that if they cut the beginning and the
Okay,
end,
but
they
look,
can make it look
I'm not done
offensive.
yet. I'm not
but
done
that because they want you to say that exact thing that you just
Can I
said,
finish?
which is no. This is very, very important. They want you to have that exact reaction. They want you to see a shitload of stuff and say,
Who's
listen,
them?
The people who are putting forth the case that he needs to be canceled. They want you to look at
yet.
all these clips.
So
and
do you think he should be canceled?
Just let me get this one point off. They want you to not care about the details of each individual case. They want to create an overall explanation of who he is as a person that will convince you that the individual details don't matter. And yes, I don't think he should be canceled. I think a lot of this stuff was super offensive, but I think it's a very deliberate attempt to obscure what his actual jokes were at that time.
I don't know the full context.
I don't either, but I assume that if he had millions of people watching it, that it couldn't have been that offensive at the time.
But if somebody's acting like they jerking off and tell a picture of my 11-year-old daughter,
I want to see a 2-minute clip. I don't want to see a 2-second clip because I want to know exactly what he was trying to get across there. And maybe it's still super offensive, but the fact that many people saw it at the time and didn't think it was offensive leads me to think that maybe the actual context wasn't as offensive.
What if the people watching were just like, I don't know, little kids that didn't know any better?
Why are people?
That's a concern.
Why are people? Never mind. Go ahead.
Sorry, because you kept cutting me off rudely.
But I needed to make a point because you were about to just basically say the thing, which is that the details don't matter. The details are the only thing that matters.
I'm trying to get across a point, and you're not letting me finish.
Let's hear it.
Is that so? I watched more videos, and when he did blackface, he has a character called Shanae or whatever.
Disgusting.
Disgusting. And he had Shanae merch on his Amazon, and he was selling that until like 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
Yes. On his Amazon, and then
apparently I would like a fact check on
apparently
that.
it's still available on his website. Go check out Choice TV
I
on
feel
YouTube.
like if he would have wanted to distance himself from the blackface thing a long time ago, I don't know if I
because
believe
somebody's just shedding light on something right now doesn't mean that it's not wrong. Why are people just turning up? People are now giving police brutality the full force that it should have been getting years ago, 50, 60, 70 years ago at the end of the day. Why isn't it not like that now? I mean, why are they just doing this shit now? That doesn't make it less wrong.
Let me just throw this out there. Let's say that, I'm going to throw a hypothetical situation. Let's say that when I was 15, I had wore blackface, which I have not. But let's say that I did for a costume or whatever. And let's say at that time, I don't even have to be 15. Let's say I was 20. I didn't think it was racist. And nobody around me thought it was racist. And nobody was offended around me. And now it's brought to the table and it said, like, look how offensive this was. But at the time, nobody was offended. Then what does that say?
You would have to get down, but I would say I don't think Adam's a racist.
If it was 20 years ago, that's still to you like if you didn't think it was offensive and nobody around you told you it was offensive.
Listen,
because I think that Shane Dawson was realistically living in a world where he didn't know that blackface was offensive because nobody he had all these videos out and nobody told him that.
A 15-year-old nigga. A 15-year-old person knows right from wrong at the end of the day.
Oh, you're not even an adult at 15.
At 15, you knew everything that you was doing.
He was
Absolutely
21 when he made the video.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, 21, that's even worse. He knows exactly what he's doing.
I don't think so. Do you remember being 21? When I was 21, I was such a completely different person.
Okay, but don't you start high school? Aren't you in high school when you're 15?
Yeah.
You're on your way to being an adult in society at the end of the day.
So everything that you ever did when you were 15, you're comfortable with people bringing that to the surface now and saying this is who AD is.
I'm not
You're saying that
you
are the same person that you were when you're 15.
I did no racist shit.
I don't think you want people applying the same logic that you're applying to Shane Dawson. You would be mortified if people applied that logic to you.
I did no racist shit.
Why do you have to make it about racism? It could be about anything.
Now listen.
There's things you said about women in your life that if they were put on the big screen right now and every single...
I didn't say shit.
I don't know everything you ever said, but I can assume that you've said things about women over the course of your life that if it was put on the news and they were to say, AD said this and the context was removed.
I was raised about women,
The context was removed and it was made to be as offensive as possible. Do you seriously think that that would then be an accurate representation of who you are as a person?
You know
20 years ago?
You know who I am though, bro. Right. At the end of the day.
But you're not extending that same sympathy to Shane Dawson.
But she's saying...
You don't even know who he is.
Listen, but she's saying that the nigga doing all type of stuff.
What? No, I agree. His humor at the time that he had millions of fans for was super offensive, and I agree.
And his apology video, he glossed over a lot of like
I didn't watch the
important
apology
details. There you go.
Okay, I'm gonna do this.
Because I've heard him apologize for this shit so many times that it's like unthinkable to me that he's still apologizing.
Look, R. Kelly, right? For example, right? R. Kelly's a black person, right? Okay. He was getting allegations for years. Once it was shed light on, it's like, okay, 1 is bad, 2 is bad, 3 is bad. Okay, this is disgusting now. When it starts going into the 20s and the 30s, it's like, no, you held responsible for that at the end of the day.
You're talking about raping children in comparison to making offensive jokes in YouTube videos.
Children.
Yeah, but
that's not cool.
Playing around about raping
Playing
children
around
is
is not
absolutely
cool.
not raping a child. They're incredibly
it's
different
still
things.
Not cool.
Okay, but you're clearly obscuring the actual point here. Is that he was making
get what you're
offensive
saying.
jokes
You're
for
saying that-
millions of people.
Listen, you said 15. She's saying he 21. When you're 21, you know everything that you're doing, right?
I just think that if you made an offensive joke 20 years ago, that you should not be able to be canceled for it.
Is he 20?
In modern
Did he do
times.
it 20 years ago?
It was probably
Like
10.
10.
Probably 10.
Okay. And how old was he when he did it?
I don't know. He's
21.
probably 35 now.
Okay, put it this way.
Something like
If I do a crime at 21, I'm going to get the same jail amount of time as anybody else that's an adult at the end of the day. So you have to hold me to the same standard. Now, some people's views may change. You just showed me the other day. Somebody had a swastika on their biggest fuck on their chest and they turned it into a black fucking rose, right? Okay.
It's funny because it's like,
It's this big
why is there a rose this big?
It's this big ass black rose, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Who you was, if you sit there and say right now, listen, this is who I was. This is not how I feel about this right now. At the end of the day, just like I told you earlier.
But this is the question. Do you think that people who did offensive things 10 plus years ago deserve to be canceled and have their entire career taken away from them because they made an offensive joke 10 years ago?
Not. It depends on the context at the end of the day.
Well, now you want context?
No, I'm just saying. That's like right now. If I did something when I was 15 years old, right? If I did something that got brought to light and I'm like, you know what? That's not me at the end of the day. If I'm leaving the same breadcrumb trails multiple times for the same accusations, then that shit ain't cool.
But I mean, in the case of Shane Dawson, he's spent however many years now of being so outwardly making it clear that he disavows. Like, he has apologized so many times for those jokes.
If he
has
did
made
it one
so
time,
unbelievably clear. Yes, but you have to understand that the internet in 2010 or earlier was an extremely different place, and there's countless jokes that would fly at the time. Because again, millions of people saw these videos and didn't think this stuff was so offensive. The video that horrified the Smith family, millions of people saw.
That's their daughter.
I'm not denying that it's offensive as
It's
fuck.
offensive as hell.
Again, millions of people saw it and nobody was offended, apparently, at the time.
I will give you this then. Watch this. Justin Bieber, when he said the little N-word song and all type of stuff like that, right? Do I think Justin Bieber is that person right now? No. Should Justin Bieber be canceled for that? I don't think so. You feel me? He seemed like he was a little kid. He was ignorant to the situation at the end of the day. And that's not from him. That's from people around him. He probably thought that was funny at the end of the day. A 21-year-old man, though, the same shit don't apply for that.
How old was Justin Bieber in that clip? He was probably damn.
He probably was 11.
No, he wasn't.
He was a little kid.
Like
He was young,
baby.
but he wasn't that young.
Bro, he was not over 15 years old.
Okay. But I mean, I agree the amount of offensive shit matters, and I agree that the length of time matters. I agree that the age that you were doing it matters. My whole thing, Shane Dawson got famous for that kind of humor, at least initially.
I'm gonna give you somebody else. What's the nigga name? Ari Shaffir, who said the terrible shit about Kobe when Kobe died at the end of the day.
Yeah, that was pretty
right?
bad.
He's done a lot of bad shit. He has a shit called Amazing Racist at the end of the day. Like, he's laying the blueprints of what he does and how he feels. And then the fact that when Kobe Bryant dies and it's a fucked up time at the end of the day, you're sitting there saying bad shit about Kobe at the end of the day. Nigga, fuck you.
Yeah, and I heard him try to explain that.
Fuck that nigga.
That's like his thing, is that he likes to go on social media and just have the most offensive opinion.
If I see that nigga walking around LA, I'm gonna beat the dog shit out of him.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, but that's a very, very different scenario, because that happened a year ago or 6 months ago or however long Kobe died. Like, I totally agree that the Ari Shaffir thing was pretty horrible.
I got Kobe tatted on my head because I'm standing up for him. Nobody better not say nothing about Kobe.
People
my
were
whole thing-
also upset because he was so quick to like have a reaction to Tati's video, but then like hasn't addressed the Smiths at all.
Right, but I mean, the Smiths thing again.
But the
it's
Smiths
pretty
are not
easy.
wrong for feeling that way.
Wait,
I agree.
But the thing is that if he made a video explaining that, what's he going to say? He's going to say the same exact shit I'm saying, which is a long time ago, in context, I thought it was funny, I was totally wrong, blah, blah, blah.
I think they're owed an apology
That's what he would
directly.
say. Right, but the thing about
But he should
Tati
reach out to
is
the
that
family and do that.
He feels that Tati is like 100% misrepresenting him, which I don't know if I believe. I'm not sure if I really side with her or James
I don't
Charles.
know
on
who
this
people
whole
is
thing.
anyway, so I don't fucking know. All I'm going by is what you told me and what Cam Girl telling me, and what Cam Girl telling me make it. I'm not fucking with the nigga.
Okay,
kid.
but let's put it this way. Eminem, there's a bunch of different examples of Eminem using the N-word in songs, saying bad things about black women, etc. He's really, really lucky that stuff came out in like 2003 and not 2020. But can you imagine if that came out today?
Look where Eminem is from at the end of the day. And Eminem done put on more black people than a lot of motherfuckers at the end of the day. Do I think Eminem is a racist? No. At the end of the day, do I think Eminem continued to? No, he didn't do no shit like that.
But you could use the same logic with James Charles. Is that okay? Yeah, he was making jokes about, I mean, whatever. But I mean, Shane Dawson has helped a million people with their career. He's definitely done a lot of black people. Why are we talking about black people? We're talking about him making pedophile jokes.
Because he was acting like jerking off to a black person, 11-year-old black girl at the end of the day.
But why? So he has to do reparations directly to the black community.
I didn't say he has to do reparations at the end of the day.
But what I'm saying is that Shane Dawson has made it unbelievably clear that he is a good person.
There wouldn't be a lot of artists today if it wasn't for Eminem bringing them up, and he's still bringing black artists up at the end of the day.
Okay, but I'm saying that Shane Dawson, in his own right, has done the same thing, where he has helped a shitload of people in the community. Why are you making it about black people? You have to understand how funny this is.
It's not funny. I'm telling you the
truth. Yes, it is.
Why are you judging?
Why does it only matter if Shane Dawson, who again you don't actually know who he is,
I don't know who he is.
Why does it only matter if he helps black people? Because if I say he's helped a lot of people in general.
Because the people who he hurt.
You get points from being a good person, not from helping out the specific beleaguered group.
The people that you brought up, who the people hurt at the end of the day, has helped out the same community that you were talking about.
But there is absolutely no racial context in that video of a Shane Dawson.
But there's other ones where he's doing blackface and has like
he's blackfacing, he's jerking off to an 11-year-old girl.
That really like saying he
But that's what I'm saying. That shit ain't
he
cool.
was jerking off to an 11-year-old girl makes it sound like he was
he's
gay. He's not jerking off to any girls.
Why are you making blackface? Why are you acting like that with an 11-year-old black girl?
You think that anybody who's made offensive jokes deserves to have their entire career wiped out?
No.
But that's what you're saying.
I'm not saying that.
That's literally what you're saying.
No, I'm saying that one time, okay, it may be a mistake.
But so if you make the same joke repeatedly on camera, then you deserve to have your career ruined.
If you keep doing all of this same type of stuff,
but what you're doing right now is setting up the same hypocritical standard. That's
not hypocritical.
Yes, it is. Because
I just told you I'm fucking R. Kelly.
You have made jokes in your life. Granted, you didn't have a YouTube channel. You didn't have a YouTube channel 10, 15 years ago.
I've never made a pedophile joke in my life. I stand by that.
You've never made a joke that would be offensive if it was viewed from an outside context.
Bro, I had my daughter when I was 19 years old.
You're lucky that you didn't have a YouTube channel 15 years ago.
Bro, I never made pedophile jokes, bro.
That's not the question. The question is, have you ever made a joke that if it was removed from the entirety of the context would be viewed as offensive? Yes, you obviously have. We all have.
Let me put it in this perspective for you. When you go to jail, right? In the streets, in the black community, in the Latino community, if you go, matter of fact, black, white, it don't matter what fucking color you is. When you go to jail, the worst thing that you can be called in jail is a child predator at the end of the day. If you even play around like that, if you're a child predator, you're going to get fucked in your ass. You're going to get the shit beat out of you. You might get raped and killed when you go to prison at the end of the day. Anybody that has child charges at the end of the day, they have to get put in protective custody so the inmates don't kill them. Okay. So being a nigga from the streets, and when you hear shit like that, that's something that you don't play around with.
But this
I was actually in jail, and I seen somebody. I was actually in jail.
Nobody has accused Shane Dawson of fucking a kid. It's just jokes that he made.
I didn't say fucking a kid. Cam Girl said that he's made plenty jokes like that at the end of the day. So let's say right now, he didn't touch not one kid.
Nobody has ever suggested that he would do that.
Why are you continuing to make the same type of joke?
But why would you not joke around about stuff that is offensive? Like, that fact that he wouldn't do it is probably why he felt comfortable making the joke in the first place.
I don't know, Cub. I don't feel like that was cool.
Well, I don't think anybody thinks it was cool. But it's certainly, at the time, my whole thing, and this is my thing, is that I think it's really disingenuous to take somebody who's pretty clearly made it clear what kind of person they are in modern times and then have to go back 10 years and find offensive jokes they made 10 years ago to now ruin their lives.
How do you feel about Bill Cosby?
He's a rapist. He drugged and raped women.
Wait.
Why do you think comparing Shane Dawson, who made a bunch of offensive... Let me say this. Why do you think comparing Shane Dawson, who made a bunch of offensive jokes, to Bill Cosby, who drugged and raped like 80 women?
You're not
How
listening.
is that useful?
You're not
How
listening.
is this useful to compare him to?
You're not listening.
Explain to me how that makes sense.
You just said, your context was... You're going to hold somebody accountable for the same person they was 20 years ago?
making a bunch of jokes that millions of people watched at that time and thought were funny versus drugging and raping 80 women. You
Didn't nobody know
seriously
about
think
that
this is a good
till
point?
recent.
And then he got canceled and they got him the fuck out of here. He's in jail.
I'm not saying that it's different at the end of the day. I'm saying that, listen.
It is different. For the
What
record.
you
It's
said,
very, very, very
listen,
different.
No.
Unbelievably different.
Of course it's different, 100%. The type of charges are different. But your logic is something somebody did 20 years ago, they shouldn't be held accountable for that. Bill Cosby should be held accountable. R. Kelly should be held accountable.
Right.
Shane Dawson should be held accountable at the end of the day.
But what does being held accountable look like when you've already apologized
You
for it a
don't
million
make-
times and it's
it
just
doesn't
you
matter.
were just making jokes? He
It's not
didn't
no
rape
joke.
anybody.
It's not no joke.
No, but it was a joke. He was trying to be funny, and apparently people thought it was funny since he had millions of followers.
But
for
Cam
it.
Girl just said he's done this plenty times. Just even having a Shanae shirt that you're selling, you're making fun of black culture.
I
at the
need
end
a
of the
fact
day.
check on that because
I wanna see that shit.
I
I'll fact
refuse
check
to
it.
believe that he actually was selling this shirt.
He was
Any
selling
moment,
it.
maybe at one point, maybe in 2010. Okay, I believe
Choice
that.
TV.
I have a hard time believing you're selling that recently.
I want to see that though, but that's because I'm like, listen, this nigga sounds like a piece of shit listening to y'all two.
I can confirm that he's a good guy, and I just don't think he deserves to be just to have his entire life. They pulled his books from Amazon because he made some offensive jokes 10 years ago.
Nigga,
I don't
if you
buy
do
it.
that to 11-year-old girl, your book should be pulled.
But you're lying about what he did.
I didn't lie and say
This was the
nothing.
character that he had.
Currently unavailable, but this
Because I
isn't.
told you.
It's not. It's not even.
Well, that's not a black person.
It's not even a blackface thing. It's just.
That
it's a white face.
Shanae is a character he
Right.
played.
I remember when he did the
Yeah.
blackface for sure. This
But
is the best
Shanae-
shirt I ever worn. That's the first reveal.
Shanae is a character
This is the
that
best
he was
shirt I
trying to
ever
like
worn.
pretend to be like
Shanae is a
black
character
I
girl.
from
remember.
Martin.
I remember. But I mean, you
So
can't really say.
the shirt came from him trying to imitate a black woman, right?
But he's not. His skin's
Even
not
if
even
you-
dark in the shirt. His skin's
even-
probably whiter than it is in real life in the shirt.
I think if you watch the videos of him,
I know
doing
what you're
the
talking about.
Shanae
I'm saying
character would be really, really bad.
I guess him selling a shirt like that is kind of odd. I wouldn't want to be drawing attention to the blackface I did with a new shirt, even if he doesn't have blackface on in that shirt. Anyway, you're saying he was jerking off to an 11-year-old girl.
No,
Why
I said
is
he
everybody so
insinuating that.
dead set on misrepresenting
I didn't
him?
say that
That's
he
the thing
jerked off.
that I think is so bizarre is that people want to just push
Okay.
a false narrative
How about-
about him.
how-
People
how about
want to
this?
make it seem so much worse than what he
How about
actually
this?
did.
How about this? Do you think that he said and done things to the black community, right? Personally, that's offensive. As a black
yeah.
man,
The blackface,
I don't
for
like
sure.
what he doing. I don't like the Shanae shit at the end of the day, or even putting blackface on in the first place. As a black man, that shit is not cool.
What is the appropriate punishment for making an offensive joke 10 years ago that now looks bad?
I need to see and listen. I don't know all the facts, so I'm not going to sit there and say crucify this nigga. I ain't gonna say all that. I want to see the facts, but based off of what you guys are telling me right now, fuck that nigga. That's how I feel.
That's cool. I just think overall that we need to be. I think society as a whole would do better if they were a bit more sympathetic towards people who had YouTube channels 10 years ago and made jokes.
I just told you today. I said when Jimmy Kimmel, they sent.
But why do you not want Jimmy Kimmel canceled? He wore blackface.
But I don't think that Jimmy Kimmel tried to disrespect black people when he did the blackface at the time.
So okay,
Robert Downey Jr. did blackface.
So you throw the rope to people you like,
No,
and then
it's
you
not.
pull it away from people
It's-
you don't like. You're
I
judging
don't
it by a
even-
completely different
I don't
standard.
even know the Sean nigga, bro.
Right, but it makes no sense. Why are
Jimmy
you giving
Kimmel
Jimmy
is not
Kimmel
making,
the rope and pulling it away
because
from
he's
everyone
not
else?
making child predator jokes.
He
nigga.
made tons of offensive jokes. He wore blackface. That's what we're talking about.
Okay, Robert Downey Jr. also did blackface. I watched the movie. I thought it was funny at the time. Tropic Thunder was fucking
Right,
funny.
even you thought it was funny at the time. Why are you so
that's-
not compassionate to Shane Dawson?
Listen, because the nigga did. Oh my god.
Because it makes no sense. You're telling us that you thought it was funny when other people did it,
No.
but then you refuse
I
to
didn't say
acknowledge
that. I
that.
didn't see the Jimmy Kimmel shit. I saying when I seen Tropic Thunder, I thought it was funny when Robert Downey Jr.
But
did
so
that.
then what's the
Do
difference
I
between
think
people
Robert
thinking
Downey
that it
Jr.
was
is a
funny for
racist?
Shane
No.
Dawson to wear blackface all those years ago too? What's the difference? There is no difference. There's
Bro,
absolutely
he's
no difference.
acting like he's jerking to a fucking 11-year-old black
No, okay,
girl.
but let's
An
generalize more.
underage black girl.
It was an offensive joke.
It's offensive as fuck.
The blackface that these people wore in this movie that Robert Downey Jr. wore, offensive, right?
I didn't take
What's the
offense to it.
difference?
I
Right, you didn't take offense to it. But what's the difference? What's the difference? Let's focus on just the blackface.
If you see the movie,
Why do you cancel one person for blackface and not another?
I'm not canceling
because you
it.
like one and you don't like the other.
no, I didn't say cancel Shane Dawson for an old blackface shit he did. I'm saying my whole thing is the child predator shit. I don't fuck with it at all. I don't think nobody that plays around with that. I mean, I don't feel nobody that does that shit have any merit to say anything. If he just did the blackface shit at the end of the day, I say, you know what? Maybe at the time he was ignorant. He didn't know that shit. The fact that you doing blackface, you're acting like you're jerking off to a black little girl that was 11 years old at the time, and you making Shanae shirts and doing all type of shit. But you really showing you making fun of my people. So fuck you. I'm telling you, that's how I feel.
You're making Shane Dawson out to be a fucking Klansman.
I don't know him.
But then why you want to?
I'm talking about based off of what y'all give me about the nigga. This just makes very little
sense to say that you don't know him, but you do think he deserves to be canceled.
Off of what y'all giving me right now, that is my basic assumption right now. That's all I'm saying. I need to see the facts. You don't feel like it's like crazy like that. Cam Girl's like, this is fucking crazy.
I think people need to be more sympathetic towards people who made offensive jokes over a decade ago.
The difference of fucking parallels. You guys have difference.
I'm asking you guys to question why you're so happy to cancel certain people and not other people when they did exactly the same thing.
And what did I just say?
Because you like one and you don't like the other.
No, I said because the child predator shit, I don't fuck with it at all. I don't think
anybody who's ever made a joke about anything like that they can never have a job, they can never have a career.
Oh my God.
But you don't really believe that. You have to question what beliefs you're putting forth because I know you don't really think that.
Why I don't feel like that?
Because if you thought that, then there's so many other people that have made similar jokes. Okay, Biggie said he's going to take your kids and fuck them in the ass and throw them off of the bridge. What's wrong with that? Biggie talked about fucking kids. AD. Biggie wrote songs about fucking kids in the ass and then killing them.
Yeah,
it's true, right? Wait, it's true.
Leave this out of it.
Tell me if I'm wrong.
I didn't hear it.
It's a fact.
I didn't hear it.
I grew up listening to the song. I've heard it in recent times.
Nigga, you don't even listen to R&B. I don't hear you.
I listen to Biggie.
Nah, I don't know.
I think I've officially cornered you into admitting that.
No, I didn't hear it, so I'm not going to take offense to this shit.
Are you fucking kidding me? You never heard fuck him in the ass and throw him over the bridge?
Nope.
Biggie said, I know some real who gonna kidnap kids, fuck them in the ass, throw them over the bridge.
He said he knows some. He didn't say that he was gonna do it. So you just fucked up what you were supposed to say.
No, I didn't.
Did Biggie say that he did that?
Why is it okay for Biggie to say that he's friends with a bunch of guys who will rape kids and kill them?
He didn't say he was friends with them. He says, I know some guys.
I don't remember exactly how it was phrased, but
did Biggie say that he messed with kids? No.
No, but he
said
don't lie on Biggie. But he said he's got a lot of friends that will
lie on
Biggie. Rape and kill your babies. That's not worse than Shane Dawson.
Did Shane Dawson act like and insinuate he was jerking off to an 11-year-old girl? Yes. Did Biggie do anything like that? No. So the point is stupid.
No, but he bragged on a record about it.
He said he knows somebody. He knows somebody. It's not the same.
We got to reel it back. But that was a heated conversation.
Jesus Christ!
I think you need to work on your compassion.
I think you guys should just agree to disagree.
We always do this though.
No, agreeing to disagreeing, that would be the worst podcast ever.
Me and Adam always get into it.
I don't know how to wrap this up without saying that.
What?
You guys aren't going to come to terms on feel the same way about this.
That's fine though.
My opinion is that people are being canceled a little too liberally.
And my opinion is people that act like they
you think people aren't being canceled enough?
We're going back.
No, I didn't say that. When did I say that?
You want more people canceled?
When did I say that?
I'm gonna go.
When did I say that?
I'm gonna go to Rap Genius, artist, AD.
When did I say that?
I'm gonna search every offensive word I can find on the AD discography, and we're gonna find some jokes, and then we're gonna cancel you next week. That's my idea.
Don't do that.
You cancel me next week. I'm shooting no jumper up. There ain't gonna be no podcast.
Anybody who watches this, hopefully he won't remember to go through and search AD's Twitter and find every offensive joke you can ever find. Let's cancel AD 2020.
Let's cancel me.
Okay.
Search it.
We actually didn't even get to the Tiger story, but I think we're just going to leave that one alone because this is already a long one, right? It's like 2.5 hours.
I don't know.
Me and Adam always get into it though.
We have had arguments that were too hot to put on camera. This is nothing in comparison.
No, it's not.
Really?
Yes.
I'm glad I was here to witness it.
We get into it.
Adam's fucking fighting white and black.
That was racist. You're canceled.
White and black Adam.
You better capitalize black.
Oh my God.
Hey, look, listen, this is the thing. I am not ignorant to people's opinions at the end of the day. Adam, where he comes from, is a totally different place where I'm from. All I can do is try to show him where I'm coming from with my thinking. That is it.
I understand.
I know he's a good guy. I fuck with him. I wouldn't be here if I didn't think he was a good guy.
We come from two different perspectives. But that is one thing I will say I really like about AD is we have intense fucking arguments and then it just goes back to normal after, which there are people in my life who I love to argue. Like I love to have a vigorous debate, but I have a lot of people in my life who, if you have a vigorous debate about something, that to them is basically like you attacking them and like you're not cool after that. And to me, it's like, no, we picked something, we argued about it, and then once we're done discussing that thing, everything goes back to normal. And not a lot of people get down like that.
Because I'm from the streets. We get down with all of our homeboys. Like, we really beat the shit out of each other. We hug afterwards. We shake hands. That's homies. That's brotherhood.
See,
I look at you
that,
like a homie and brotherhood. We can have a heated debate. You feel me?
Yeah, because you don't want to fight me.
We can shake hands.
You might not show up to Muay Thai the next day. Pow! This has been the No Jumper Show. Shout out to AD for filling it. House phone's at home, like, oh, I wish I was the one having that conversation.
House phone ain't gonna do what I'm gonna do.
Nah, I think he would have laid down at a certain point. It would have been a little bit more agreeable. It wouldn't have gotten to such a pitch.
I'm just saying, you know me, bro. I can have a heated conversation with you without you getting offended and I'm getting offended. I'm not gonna leave here and be like, fuck that nigga.
Elephant
Adam.
in the
room.
room.
You know what I'm saying?
As somebody
the
who's
room, they call me elephant in the room.
You are the elephant in the room. But also the other elephant in the room is that Adam 22 has been accused of a whole bunch of shit and had a whole lot of jokes.
And what have I said?
But a whole lot of jokes
publicly
that I made then characterized as me literally thinking those things.
What's the first thing I did when people were sitting there hitting me up saying, Adam is this, Adam is this, Adam is this? What did your boy AD do? I tweeted, Adam is not no racist. He ain't got no racist bone in his body.
My guy.
You feel what I'm saying? Because that's how I honestly feel. You feel what I'm saying? He has a lot of black people. We just had a black girl come over here and try for a new position at the end of the day. So Adam actually, he helps us. And I say that shit all the time. Look,
he helps us.
But
he's so happy right now.
I know he's happy, but I tell him this shit all the time.
No, I mean, to me, honestly, it's weird because I know it's like super corny when people say, I don't see color, but like, I've never hired anyone because they were black, or I've never like hired anyone for any racial reasons ever. It's kind of strange to me.
I don't see color either. I treat everybody the same.
I don't want to think about the world that way.
I see everybody the fucking same. It don't matter if you're black, white, gay, straight, whatever the fuck the situation may be. I judge people on who they are as people at the end of the day. Because there ain't shit people in every category if we get down to that shit. I know you personally. I fuck with you personally. And I know your heart at the end of the day. Your energy doesn't strike me as being a bad guy or down with whatever at the end of the day. You feel me? I wouldn't be here if I thought that was the situation. So that's all I'm saying.
Let's stomp out racism 2020, guys.
Let's do it, nigga.
Racism.
Let's do it. We got Korean girls, we got black dudes, white dudes. Yeah, his shirt, fuck racism.
Yeah, fuck racism.
That's an interesting shirt from Empire.
And by the way,
who's the money going to from that?
You donated money.
Can you let him in?
Donated money to the fund.
But also, I lived downtown for all those years. I don't think I ever gave a motherfucker change.
But at the end of the day, me and you off camera, we have certain topics that me and you talk about and we bump heads about at the end of the day. And it's all only because, listen, if you were born, right? I'm just gonna give an example. If you were born, your family were white supremacists and they didn't like black people, they didn't like black people, they didn't like black people, and you was bred to like that, to be like that at the end of the day, that is not, I can understand that. If you come from two different sides of the spectrum, I know you growing up, you probably didn't have a lot of black people in your community, right? Right?
Largely, yes. Nashua.
Okay, so there's probably a lot of people that played around and said black shit and all type of stuff at the end of the day, right? When you were growing up at the end of the day. Now that you're in hip hop and you meet people, you meet niggas like me where you like, hey, I like AD, that's my guy at the end of the day, right? The same way that people are, like you said, back then, I'm not gonna judge you or I'm not gonna judge other people off of that shit. But when you reach a certain age, certain shit don't fly. And if it happens one time, you can be forgiven for something one time, as long as it's not just drastically. But when you do something 2, 3, 4, 5, that's like I said, R. Kelly.
But what if the thing didn't seem offensive at the time and then it seems offensive in 2020?
Okay, look, and you're right about that.
Because let's face it, society's standards have changed a fuckload.
I just finished watching The Office, right? And they talking about bringing The Office back. And Michael says, Steve Carell, he says, I don't think that we can bring it back because he don't want to water down what they did. And a lot of the jokes that they made would be offensive now. A lot of the jokes on The Office today would be considered offensive. Now,
it's kind of shocking that nobody wore blackface on The Office. They did like 10 seasons and nobody ever wore blackface.
Kind of did.
Wait, did they?
Dwight did something similar, but he didn't put on blackface. He was another character. But That was a thing back then. In 2020, nobody should be wearing blackface.
No,
nobody.
Just because it's so obvious what's going to happen to your
That's
career.
like in 2022. No one should be making gay jokes in 2020. Nobody should be making child predator things in 2020. Nobody should be wearing blackface. Nobody should be making racist comments in 2020.
The question is just how we judge people who did so in 2010, even if they've given us many reasons to believe that they are not
social media
that person,
was not prominent back then.
I know.
Now
So everything that's old is new.
Now everything that's in your face, people are being held accountable for it.
Yeah. I just think people deserve to be, I think people should be a little bit more compassionate before they just really want to ruin somebody's life over some shit that was considered an acceptable joke 10 years ago.
I think, like AD said, because social media wasn't as prevalent before, that, you know, you're trying to say that like millions of people watched the shit and no one was offended. I think people had to be offended. We didn't have
and didn't have a voice to even voice their opinion at the time.
I mean, how did they not have a voice? Like, the magazines existed, websites existed.
What
it's
you
not
mean?
like other YouTube videos existed. It's not like there was nobody getting offended by shit.
But
10
when
years ago.
you're getting millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of views at the end, there's kids right now that cannot hit Adam up and say, hey, I'm offended. You don't have the time to read through everything. I'm pretty sure people sit there and tell you all the time, I don't like this, Adam. I don't like this, Adam. I don't like this. I don't like this.
And I don't
it's not
think
until
that
people strike up that they have a voice.
You know
I don't think that there's magazine coverage on YouTube.
No, but like, okay,
celebrities before.
you know who's getting the most retweets talking shit about Shane Dawson? Twitter accounts with like 20 followers. It's not like you need a platform to raise awareness about something that's
but
going
how
on.
many of them 20 followers?
Huh?
It's a lot of them, right?
20, like the number.
No, he's saying how many different accounts with just 20 followers.
Those are common people. A lot of people don't have a lot of followers. There's some people that got
But what
20.
I'm saying is that the people who called out Shane Dawson, who are making the most noise about this, it's not like they didn't have a voice then and now they have a big voice. No, they never had a voice. Like, it's random people just going viral off just talking about the shit.
But when people band together, that's when the lights get shed on. Just for example, Carol Baskin, right? Carol Baskin was running around freely. It's not until everybody see Tiger King shit, they're like, that bitch probably killed their fucking husband.
This we really can't get into because I'm going to have to give you the explanation for why Carol Baskin is the hero of that story.
Oh, God.
I don't know.
Joe Exotic's the demon. That's
Joe Exotic is dope.
That's a clever documentary because they convince people like you to think that Joe Exotic was a hero and Carol Baskin was the devil.
I think they're all the devil
I
in that situation.
I don't know. I'm Team Carol.
I didn't say Joe is exempt for anything.
We got to get out of here because I'm already 10 minutes late for this fucking phone call I was supposed to do. Well, he didn't even text me, so cool. Fuck it. I appreciate you guys. This was fun.
Next episode, 50. Woo!
50. Virgil episode next week.
Oh, my God.
It's going up.
Movie.
Appreciate y'all.
Oh, man.